Good evening from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and welcome to the bottom of the hill on the campus of Western Kentucky University. Nick Dennis Field, the site of tonight's matchup on ESPN Plus between the WKU Hilltoppers and the Cardinals of Louisville. I'm Tyler Eaton, joined by longtime sports journalist Jim Pickens. Jim, this is a matchup of the reigning Conference USA Tournament champions and a Louisville team coming off a sixth World Series appearance under one of the best coaches in college baseball.
Well, you know, Coach McDonald has been a premier coach in the last 2 decades, and he set a standard in this state that is hard to match. You know, Tyler, we were talking about this. He's 105 and 25 all time against Kentucky teams.
Correct.
So this guy doesn't like to lose games like this, okay? And I'm sure he's looking to put another notch in his belt tonight. But I'll tell you what, we've got some players to watch if you want to start with Louisville.
Tage Davis has been one of the best in the country, not just this year but last year when he set the Louisville freshman record with 18 home runs. He is leading the country in RBI with 50, the conference leader in the ACC with 13 home runs. On the other side for WKU, Jim, Lane Arroyos has come in from New Mexico Junior College and really paced this offense that has needed somebody to step up.
Well, Lane Arroyos is what I call a stat stuffer in baseball.
Yes.
He's an extremely good infielder, and he is also a guy that hits for average and power, and he's right in the middle of this lineup. And for Western Kentucky to have a chance in this game, I think Lane Arroyos needs to do something special today. That's what big players do, and they play for the big moment, and I look forward to him having a good game today for the Hilltoppers.
He and the Hilltopper Bats are going to have to put up some runs to try and keep pace with this Louisville lineup that has been elite this season, scoring nearly 10 runs per game on the season. The pitching has been the issue so far this year for the Cardinals, so perhaps an opportunity tonight, Jim, for this WKU lineup that has not quite been to the standard they set last year.
Right. I think that WKU is going to have to hit the baseball to win this game, and they're going to have to get a good pitching from their starter, Ubalor. He's been great in relief. We're going to see what he can do on the mound as a starter today. It's
the Hilltoppers and the Cardinals in an in-state clash, and it comes your way from Bowling Green right after this. Only after this we were referencing was the opening out of this ball game. Things a bit ahead of schedule here at Nick Dennis Field. We've got one away in the top of the first on just a couple of pitches. WKU able to retire the ever dangerous at the top of the order for Louisville, Lucas Moore. And now standing at the plate is Ben Slanker as we get this thing underway from our TV broadcast side. 2-1 count as you see it. Haven't missed much. There you get to see a swinging strike. Jim Pickens, it's quite an interesting start to this one from the broadcast side, but a chance here with one more strike to make it a perfect start on the WKU side of things.
Absolutely. We'll see what Mick Ubalor has here in this first inning. We've seen him in the pen this year, Tyler, and he's been exceptional. 1.53 ERA, 22 strikeouts, 4 walks. He's gotten the job done out of the pen. We'll see how he does on the mound as a starter.
Making his first start of the season, a 1-0 record in those 5 appearances. As he fires in the payoff of this at-bat, it's looked at up and away, and drawing the ball for is Slanker. He'll trot over to first to put a base runner on for our key player coming in. And if you know anything about this Louisville team, you didn't need us to tell you anything about Tage Davis, the premier batter in the ACC, leading the country in RBI, leading the conference in home runs with 13. Had a stretch earlier this month, Jim, with home runs in 5 straight games.
He's just unbelievable in that number 3 spot in the order. And if Louisville's had a little trouble on the mound, they have certainly not had any trouble at the plate this year. They've got hitters 1 through 9, very dangerous in this lineup.
It's been the big thing for Davis, too. It's not just the power. He's a .404 hitter overall on the season. That one, though, popped up. Looks like it's going to stay in the infield, and there at third under it is Acosta. And the Louisville Bats now have 2 away. As we'll bring it over to the cleanup hitter, Hott. We said coming in, one of the best names in baseball, Byron Hott, in that cleanup spot again, it's a lineup where, as dangerous as Tage Davis is, there's not one guy that you get rid of and you feel great. Byram Hott leading the team with 9 doubles on the season. He's top 10 in the conference with a .407 average coming into tonight.
Yeah, you cannot take a batter off. You have to have extreme concentration the whole way against this lineup.
Looks at the first pitch outside as Slanker is over there bouncing at first after drawing the walk. Ubelor, the junior Oakland City transfer, looking to settle in and get out of this first inning against a Louisville team putting up almost 10 runs per game on the season. Runner on the move, throw down, is it there? Yeah. It is! So Louisville puts one on base, but Slanker is gunned down. What a throw from behind the plate from Camden Ross. A weird first inning for us. Just about as good as you draw it up for WKU. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first here in Bowling Green. Forster getting the start tonight for Louisville, the Louisville native who played at South Oldham High School, just like we saw on the WKU side. Jim, the pitcher, getting their first start of the season.
Right, and Forster has not seen much action at all. He's just pitched 3 1/3 innings. He does have a 1-0 record, but his ERA is 5.40. He has struck out 3 and walked 5, so early on, control has been a bit of an issue. We'll see how he does in this first start for the Cardinals today.
He'll face Robbins, Arroyos, and Hayes, the first 3 up for WKU, a Hilltopper lineup that last year led Conference USA in batting average, doubles, and then on the other side, ERA. They got the job done in that department in the top of the first inning. The Hilltoppers, the reigning Conference USA tournament champions, hitting just .262 this season. That's 8th in CUSA, which a lot of people are unfamiliar with it. It's one of the best 5-6 conferences you're going to see in college baseball. But these Hilltoppers trying to come to life with the bats after not just getting swept against Jacksonville State their last time out, losing 10-0 in 8 innings Sunday, their first shutout since April 13th of 2024.
Yeah. Coach Reardon definitely wants to see the bats come alive. They've really not had an extended streak where they've hit their stride like they did last year. He's just looking for a breakout game, and hopefully for the Hilltoppers, they're looking maybe to get that breakout game today.
Robbins squares to bunt. You'll see a lot of that from a Mark Reardon coach team. Pulls it back and takes a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in for strike 1. Robbins just 26 at bats so far this year, but 10 hits in those 26, and 6 of the 10 have been for extra bases for a WKU team that's looking for some pop from the bats.
This is a guy who's played his way into the lineup.
That one misses low to Robbins, getting the start in center field today. Has drawn 5 walks, struck out 4 times. As this one is hit opposite field and down for a leadoff single for Hayden Robbins.
Yeah, that's just what Robbins has done all season long. He's not only a really good outfielder, but he's made the most of his plate appearances, Tyler. He's worked his way into this lineup, and until he stops hitting, I'd say he'll remain in the lineup.
Just a perfect piece of hitting that time from Robbins, another Kentucky native transferred in from Morehead State, who has knocked off this Louisville team and Kentucky this season, all while having a losing record overall in the year. Cardinals fans say that's enough about Morehead State.
College baseball for you, midweek games.
As Lane Arroyos, the star in this Hilltopper lineup, stands in. If it's an offensive stat, he's practically the leader in it for WKU, New Mexico junior college transfer. 5 homers on the season. That's tied for the team high, leading the Hilltoppers in RBI and doubles. Near the top of Conference USA with those 10 doubles. And had actually had a hit or drawn a walk in every game this season, Jim, before that finale against Jacksonville State.
Yeah, he's just been so consistent. You don't have to see him for long to realize he's a professional hitter. That's what he is. He's outstanding.
0-1 is flown left side. If it's down, it's trouble. It's
trouble.
They're going to wave the runner home as well. Robbins turning the corner. He's in, and WKU takes the early lead on the RBI double from Lane Arroyos.
Great piece of hitting right there, Tyler. I'll tell you what, Robbins went with the pitch as a right-handed batter, and Arroyos went with the pitch as a left-handed batter.
Yes.
And we've got two opposite field hits here that have given the Hilltoppers a 1-0 lead.
That's double number 11 on the season for Arroyos, who came in second in CUSA in that department. Also top 5 in RBI as he collects number 23 and sets the table for Kyle Hayes. Third best hitter in this lineup for average on the season. He puts a piece on this one to right center. It's over the
Oh,
edge,
my goodness.
all the way back to the wall, and the Hilltoppers have a 2-0 lead. Back-to-back doubles. Hayes with a second.
Yep. Again, going with the pitch. Hit it to the right side of center field, and Toppers are in business here.
For the Hilltoppers, the catcher number 8, Hamden Ross.
How about that from Hayes, coming in with 7 multi-RBI games on the season. All but 2 of the games he's had RBI in, he's had multiple. We'll see if he turns tonight into one of those. All of a sudden, WKU with a 2-0 lead as the catcher Camden Ross steps in. He chops this one left side, fielded cleanly, throw to first, off the glove of the first baseman Davis.
Yep.
And they're going, you were pointing it over.
Yep.
Did that ball end up going into the dugout?
It did.
Jim?
It did. It went into the dugout. That's a
free run for Hayes, who gets to come across. He has made his way to third. It dribbles into the Louisville dugout as the throw was a catchable one.
Yes.
From Hot over at third. Davis, though, off the end of the glove. And WKU all of a sudden leads 3-0. 4 batters in.
Yeah, and Coach Raridan has been. I just touched on that. He's been waiting for a breakout game, and you know, it's just college baseball for you. You just never know. I mean, it's just you know, you think this is a long way from being decided, as you know, Tyler. But this is a great start for WKU, and it's just what they needed. Coming off a really tough series at Jacksonville State.
And you know it's a big spot when you don't just send out pitching coach Roger Williams, Coach McDonald himself making the way out there.
Yeah, that's a that's a business meeting.
As we'll get another look. Trying to get another look at that last play. Well, maybe later. As Nazarenas will step in for WKU. Another one that hasn't had too many opportunities at the plate. Hayden Nazarenas, just 36 at-bats so far. 9 for 36, 250 average. Looks at that one all the way in, off speed that time for ball 1.
Nazarenas is another hitter that Coach Raridan spoke volumes about early in the season. He's got high hopes for him.
Takes a big swing at that one, but the count is evened up at 1 apiece. Nazarenas, a junior from Missouri, transferred in from Crowder College. So that one all the way, and it's a called strike 2. Ross is the runner at second. After Hayes was able to come across with the ball rolling into the Louisville dugout. Hilltoppers 3 runs on 3 hits and a Louisville error. That one bounces. Great job to smother it by Jimmy Nugent, who has been so good behind the plate for the Cardinals this season.
Really good stop right there. That was a tough stop.
He's third in the ACC. He's caught 6 runners stealing, only given up 2. We'll see how much the Hilltoppers choose to test him today. As the 2-2 is fired in, line left side and through. Ross hesitates, but he'll make his way to third, standing up. 4 first-inning hits without an out for this WKU lineup.
And Tyler, every hit has been to the opposite field.
Yes.
It almost feels like that they've had a team meeting talking about this, and instead of pulling, you know, of a left-handed hitter pulling ground ball outs to second, they've really worked on spraying the ball all over the field, and the Hilltoppers through 5 at-bats have done just that.
So J.P. Acosta is the next man up for the Hilltoppers, the third baseman. With runners on the corners and nobody out. See if they try to move Nazarenas at first. He is on the move. Swing to no avail. Throw is going to be late, but is the tag there? No, it was close.
Yep.
As Nazarenas had to dive back to get on the bag. With that swing, it looked like one where Acosta's job, no matter what, was to put the bat on the ball some way, somehow.
Yep.
But still works out for WKU as now they've got two in scoring position.
What reason it worked out, he got an absolutely tremendous jump.
0-1 as Acosta did swing at it. Big swing, big miss. 93 miles an hour that time off the hand of Vorster.
Well, if you're Western Kentucky, here's where you want to make contact because you've got two runners in scoring position. You don't want to have an empty out here.
0-2, pitch on its way, that one up. 1 ball, 2 strikes to J.P. Acosta, 259 hitter on the season, just 8 RBI. But a golden opportunity here with 2 on and still nobody out.
And a big hole on that left side. A big hole if he can take it to the opposite field.
That one is flared into left field, and it falls into the perfect spot. One will score for WKU. They're going to hold up Nazarenas behind.
It's almost amazing what they've done. They have 5 hits. They're all to the opposite field, Tyler.
I'm starting to think that JUCO Hall of Famer Mark Reardon, coaching these Hilltoppers, might know a thing or two about this game.
Yeah, I do believe he does. Yeah, they've just done a really good job of hitting the pitch where it's pitched, and good things happen when you do that. And that was a 2-strike pitch right there, and he did a good job to keep this inning alive. In fact, there are no outs.
Now runners on the corners. Once again, last time this was the case, they tried to move the runner from first. It's Acosta in that spot now with Austin Holler standing in. Throw over to third. Is the tag there? It is.
Yeah, it is. That was a really good move.
Beautiful pickoff from Vorster.
Yeah.
And that'll quell the threat a bit. What a big first out to get as Nazarenas is picked off.
I'll tell you, bigger than a lot of people realize. I mean, because you're looking at 2 runners on base and nobody out. Now you got 1 runner on base and 1 out. Gives them a chance to get out of the inning with a double play.
Tries to get another one over at first. Sliding back in is Acosta as Holler stands in.
I think that Coach McDonald knows the aggressive nature of Coach Reardon there, and I think they took advantage of that a little bit right there, Tyler.
Absolutely. Another throw over to first is, to your point, this is not just a great coach in Coach McDonald, but one that has absolutely done his homework on Coach Reardon. When he's got a runner on first, he wants to move that runner no matter what.
Yep. Scouting report.
This is 4th season at WKU, and his first he came in and the Hilltoppers led the country in sacrifices. Yeah. That's the culture that he immediately set for this team.
He loves, he's a coach that wants to make the defense make a play. Yeah. And it's worked out awfully well for him in his first 3 seasons.
1-0, and again, a great job of keeping the ball in front by the catcher, Nugent.
Very nimble back there. Big guy, but really nimble.
Holler, a 276 hitter on the season. Has drawn 18 walks, but struck out 22 times. Has a 2-0 count here with 1 away and a runner at first. Looks at that one, it's a called strike 1. Vorster consistently over that 90-mile-an-hour mark, that one clocking in at 91.
Holler is a good contact guy for the Toppers. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Hilltoppers move, even though they were picked off at third there. That's just, he's not going to change his whole philosophy because of 1 pickoff.
And it's very clear that Coach McDonald expects that to be the case as they continue to throw over at first to keep Acosta honest. As the count is 2-1 to Holler at the plate. Pitch looked at all the way. Beautiful breaking ball that
Beautiful.
time.
That's maybe his best pitch of the inning.
I agree.
Sets him up to get a strikeout here possibly, but Holler's a tough guy to fan.
Feels weird to say with 4 runs on the board, but if you're Louisville and you get out of this, considering where it was with just 4 runs up, I think you're delighted.
At this point, you would be, for sure.
Here comes the 2-2. Fouled straight back. Holler was one of the heroes for WKU on their march to a Conference USA tournament title last year, hitting .500 in that tournament.
Amazing performance by Holler in the CUSA tournament.
Louisville losing in the first round of the ACC tournament, then got to host their regional as a 2 seed and made it all the way to the World Series.
Well, Coach McDonald has that roadmap tucked in his back pocket, you know.
He knows the trip to Omaha with his eyes closed.
You give them a chance, right? Give them a chance. They're going to make the most of it. They've just had such a great run under his leadership.
2-2 just off, and the count runs full to Holler.
And that just missed. That just missed.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away with Acosta standing at first. Hilltoppers leading it 4-0. Louisville trying to hold it there. The pitch from Forster. Runner on the move.
Yep.
Misses up and inside. And the Hilltoppers have 2 on with 1 away after the walk drawn by Holler.
Well, that's a really good disciplined approach by Holler. You know, this inning could have ended real quickly with a ground ball. And Holler just battled all the way through that at bat, and now all of a sudden WKU again has 2 runners on base, less than 2 outs. We'll see what happens here.
And it sets the stage for shortstop Manny Alberto. The redshirt junior from Ontario, Canada, has stepped in for injured Reed Howard, who was leading Conference USA in stolen bases. What a weapon he was, just the sophomore in the lineup. But Alberto has filled in admirably, especially on the defensive side of things, and even had a walk-off hit a couple of Saturdays ago against FIU.
He sure did. And Alberto has stepped in and done a really good job at shortstop. You know, this is a WKU team that is slowly building depth, and I think that by the end of the year, they're going to be really solid in terms of their depth. Some of that happens through injury. He gets an opportunity to prove himself, and that's what he's done so far.
Bunt would be about the least surprising play possible here. Alberto, though, not going to look to square this time, and the count's 2 balls, 1 strike. See if he'll try it again on this pitch.
Forster is struggling lately here with this curveball that we saw his best one, and he's had trouble matching that.
Runners on the move this time, trying to go for the hit and run, now just in trouble with the throw down to third, so they'll get the second out of the inning. That's the second time we've seen the Hilltoppers try to put on the hit and run, and the pitch was basically unhittable, and Alberto couldn't get a piece of it. As Acosta is tagged out, Holler advances to second, but now 2 away, both from base running.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, and again, that's Coach Raritan. I mean, he's playing his game, and sometimes it doesn't work. He does have a 4-run cushion to work with. Now he's going to need a hit to get that 5th run in.
Called ball 3, so the count now 3 balls, 2 strikes. They've only got, there we go, the updated strike on the scoreboard here at Nick Dennis Field. So it's a full count now to Alberto, runner in scoring position with 2 away in a 4-0 ball game in the bottom of the first. Here comes the pitch. Does he lay off?
Yep,
he does.
This has been a long inning for Mr. Forster. He really has. It's this is the 9th batter to the plate for WKU. They're 1 batter from batting around and getting back to the leadoff man.
30 pitches so far in this one for Forster, who had really the first few at-bats had gone pretty quick because the Hilltoppers were jumping out early. Now a couple full count walks in a row is, to your point, they get to the bottom of the lineup, and Ethan Reynolds just 1 for 10 at the plate so far this year, but that 1 hit a double. And if he can reach here, not just a chance to put another run on the board, but the Hilltoppers will have gotten it all the way back around to the top of the order with Robbins, who started this thing. And now a 2-0 count.
His breaking ball's hanging up there a little bit now. He snapped off a couple of good ones. We saw 1 real good one, but he's having trouble getting that over the plate now.
Cardinals have had some work going on in the bullpen since about the middle of this inning. That one just off. And it's 3 balls, no strikes to Reynolds, who at least for the next 2 pitches may be content to not even think about swinging. Here comes the 3-0. It's low, and the Hilltoppers have walked the bases loaded as it goes back to the top of the order with Hayden Robbins.
Be interesting to see whether they're, I guess it's Forster's inning, at least up to this point. No, that's it.
So they are going to pull the plug here with the bases loaded and 2 away in the bottom of the first inning, where WKU leads 4-0. The Hilltoppers came out, got 5 hits in their first 6 at-bats. The lone exception was an error, and now they've walked the bases loaded as the Cardinals have to make an early pitching change. Can they hold it at 4-0, or can the Hilltoppers add on some more here in the first? We'll find out together after this. Let's go here in the first with 2 away and the bases loaded, calling on Jake Schweitzer, another in-state player. He's from Louisville, went to Trinity High School. Just a sophomore standing in here, Jim, and what a spot to come into.
It is. It's a big spot for Schweitzer. This is, but he's been in 9 games. This is his 10th appearance, so he's been out there a lot. Pitched 13 1/3 inning. He's got a 7.43 ERA, 7 strikeouts, 6 bases on balls. So again, control is maybe one of the issues for this Louisville pitching staff early in the season, and Schweitzer has fought it a little bit himself.
Well, they went with a sophomore Vorster to start this thing. His day comes to a premature end. Just 2/3 of an inning pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs on the board. Only 2 of them earned because of the error that directly allowed one to score and then would bring home another as the inning went on. But 3 walks, no strikeouts in the inning for Vorster, who throws 34 pitches, only 18 of them in the strike zone. And WKU will have a fresh 9 to throw at the new pitcher Schweitzer, with Hayden Robbins back up for his second trip. He singled and scored out of his leadoff spot.
Tyler, one thing that I've noticed here in this first inning so far, WKU has been very disciplined at the plate. If the pitch has been bad, they've let it go by, and it's led to the bases being loaded here and a chance for WKU to really break through with a big inning.
First pitch misses, as it's just been so remarkable for this WKU team that only had 5 hits in each game in their series against Jacksonville State. And they've already got 5 in this first inning.
Baseball is a crazy game. It really is.
1-0 fouled straight back. I've said this in a strange way. I think of your major sports between football, baseball, basketball. You hear a lot about momentum. And I think momentum is the strongest in baseball of all of those 3.
I do too. There's so many factors that go into it, including pitchers who can't throw strikes. You know, I mean, that's part of it. If you can't throw a strike, you can't get an out.
That one is tipped up. It's going to stay in the infield. Schweitzer calls everybody off, and he'll get the job done to close out the inning. So Schweitzer comes in. He needs 1 out. He gets it almost immediately, but not before the Hilltoppers put up 4 runs in the first inning. WKU leading at 4-0 against Louisville, but the Cardinal Bats will have something to say about that in the top of the second. 4-0 is the WKU lead, as Mick Hublor will stand in for his second inning of work for the Hilltoppers, coming off a sweep at the hands of Jacksonville State, their first series loss of the season. Louisville also on the road their last time out. Nearly took a series at now number 13 North Carolina, but lost 7-6 on Sunday after giving up a 5-run 8th inning in that game in Chapel Hill. Jim, one thing that we had talked about coming into this game, those 3 games were the only true road games of the season for Louisville coming into tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they've played awfully well at home, and 14-4 at home, but away from home, they're 2-4. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of get their footing here. I mean, that knocks you off balance when you give up 4 in the first inning, and we'll see if they come back swinging.
First pitch of this at bat is Flared off foul by Byram Hott, who had stood up to bat but didn't actually get to do anything as the inning came to a close off the cannon of Camden Ross behind home plate. One misses high, 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Hott, who is top 10 in the ACC in average and doubles, leading the Cardinals with 9 two-baggers this year. But now has a 1-2 count.
Ubilar, the whole year he's done a great job working the corners, inside and outside, and he's continuing to do that today. He's got some momentum here with a 4-run lead, too.
Swing and a miss, and how about the strikeout from Mick Ubilar to start the inning against a Louisville lineup that is top 10 in the country in average as a team. Struggled in that UNC series with the bats in particular, just 4 extra base hits over the course of that series. In fact, the most mind-blowing stat to me, Jim, this is a Louisville team that comes in, they've played 24 games on the season. In their first 21, they had scored 3 or less 1 time.
Right.
In the 3 against North Carolina, they do so 2 out of those 3.
Right. Their series against North Carolina kind of mirrored WKU series at Jacksonville State. Neither team really hit the ball well at all. And Hilltoppers have gotten their hitting shoes on today. We'll see if Louisville can solve Ubilar. He's really tough.
2-1 count now to Griffin Crane, who missed all of last year with an injury, was the 2024 Rhode Island Gatorade Player of the Year, and now has popped in his first year of action with the Cardinals. He's top 30 in the country in average, top 5 in the ACC. But went 0 for 8 in that North Carolina series, had 3 straight multi-hit games coming into that series, and then went 0 for 8 at the plate across those 3. He's got a 2-2 count here, and that time able to lay off, and the count runs full. Jimmy Nugent, the catcher, standing on deck. Here comes the payoff. Flare down the left side, foul.
Yeah, Cardinals are just looking for, just get some, a little bingo here. 1 hit can get you started, and Ubilar so far has really done a good job against this lineup, and it's just power-packed lineup.
3-2, swung on and missed, back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Mick Ubilar.
Tyler, one of the things, I've gotten to see Ubilar pitch a little bit in relief coming into this first start of the season, and one thing I've noticed about him is that he does a great job staying ahead of the hitters, and then he can make his pitch when he wants to make his pitch, and that's the blueprint that he's followed today as well.
Now 24 strikeouts to just 5 walks on the season as Nugent up 1-0 in this count.
I just realized my mistake. I said blueprint. I don't think we're allowed to say blue with WKU and Louisville playing, right?
There is not one person watching this game that appreciates that.
Yeah, it's all red in here today, and it's full house here at Nick Dennis Field. Overflow crowd.
It's the red grass state tonight, huh?
Absolutely.
1-1 count to Nugent. That one fired in just off, trying to frame it was Ross. Didn't get the call. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike to Nugent, 3-13 hitter from his catcher's spot.
Yep, it's a good moment to mention both of these teams have great catchers. Nugent is outstanding for Louisville, and Ross very good for the Hilltoppers.
And Nugent rips that one into left field. He's got a chance for extra bases, strolling into second, standing up. And perhaps that is what gets the Cardinal bats going, the first hit of the ball game.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They're just looking for a hit to kind of get rolling here. And their lineup, here's the thing, people are saying maybe, well, there's 2 outs, but with this lineup, it doesn't, they can string, just like WKU did, they can string hits together in bunches, and they were just looking for their first one.
From the top to the bottom, you are looking at quality hitters all throughout this lineup, as Jex Heisel now stands in a 7th spot. He looks at that one off the plate for ball 1. Heisel, a .292 hitter on the season. Junior in there for a Cardinal lineup that today just 1 senior and hot.
Amazing.
1-0 is popped, fouled on the right side. It's going to drift out of play into a contingent of fans. Might have made its way over to the road. The count is evened up at 1 apiece. Heisel making his 18th start of the season. 19 hits, 7 of them extra bases, a couple of triples for a Cardinals team that leads the ACC in that department. Fouls that one off, and once again, Eubelor up in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's worked to his advantage all season. We'll see if it does here. He's just done a great job staying ahead of hitters. Some of the most simple things add up to big things in baseball.
1-2, tip straight into the glove, make it 3 strikeouts in the inning from Nick Eubelor. The Cardinals get their first hit, but stranded at second is Nugent. WKU holding on to this early 4-0 lead. After the top of the second, 3 Ks rung up in the inning by Eubelor. We'll see if the Hilltopper bouts can stay hot in the bottom half. WKU, as we bring you back to the bottom of the second, the Hilltoppers under 4th-year head coach Mark Reardon, the JUCO Hall of Famer, was placed in the Hall of Fame while still coaching at Iowa Western, where he won 3 national championships, coming off a historic season last year, Jim, leading WKU to a Conference USA Tournament championship, setting multiple program records along the way, including the highest ranking at number 17 this team has ever seen. Yeah,
Coach Reardon is just what this program needed, Tyler. He's done a remarkable job in 3 seasons. And I like everything about him. I like him on the field. I like him off the field. I like his approach. And he has truly turned Hilltopper baseball into a wonderful spectacle. This is a fun team to come out and watch, and that wasn't the case 4 or 5 years ago.
Picked up a win over this Louisville team a couple of years ago here at Nick Dennis Field, 3-2 in 2024. The Cardinals winning last year 5-2 at their place. This is the first of 2 meetings between these 2 teams this year, 1 at each field. As we get this inning underway with Lane Arroyo sliding one straight back. He had an RBI double in that 4-run first inning.
Yeah, Lane I love him in that number 2 spot. He's just such a pure hitter. And he showed his wares in that first inning.
Takes a big swing at that one and finds himself down 0-2 with Schweitzer in there for Louisville, who came in to get the final out of that first inning.
Yeah, Schweitzer needs to be credited big time for that, because that could have exploded into a 6-8 run inning, and he got the key final out to keep it at 4.
Arroyos looks that one off for ball 1. Hayes and Ross to follow. After Arroyos knocked his double into left, Hayes fired one into right center field, the next at bat. 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Arroyos is a great example of what I was talking about earlier as far as pitch selection. They don't swing at too many bad ones. He's very disciplined up there.
He's drawn more walks than he's had strikeouts this year. As the 2-2 comes in, flared back up the middle. It's off the glove, throw to first. It's there. What a play.
I'm not sure.
They're going to go to replay, I believe, here as it stands. Alisea, what a job to even snag that ball.
It was unbelievable play at short.
Arroyos wanted them to immediately review it, and now he's going to head back to the dugout. I don't know if Coach Reardon is going to make the call to do so. And I think that play is going to stand. What a job by Alisea in that time after the error earlier. How about Tay Davis holding on to it and staying on the bag?
Really good job both ends there. That was a tremendous play. Showed great range.
Schweitzer gets some help from his defense to start the inning as Kyle Hayes, the Chicago native, stands in, looks off the breaking ball for ball 1. Coming off of RBI number 23 of the season in his first trip up.
And baseball as you were mentioning about momentum earlier, Tyler, baseball, a play like that can switch momentum too.
Absolutely.
Even without scoring a run, that switches the momentum just a little bit, because it looked like the Hilltoppers were again going to have another runner on base with nobody out, and shortstop makes a dazzling play.
On the longer this score stays at 4 for the Hilltoppers, the odds start to flow in favor of this Cardinals team that has scored at least 5 in 19 of their 24 games this season. If you're WKU, you know you're going to need more than what you got right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely. They know that.
1-2 count now to Hayes. Schweitzer fires. That one hit right side, and a leaping grab at second by Cade Elam.
Yep. Defense can create momentum as well, and that's what's happened in this inning for the Cardinals.
First it was Alisea. This time it's Elam. Shows off the vertical and the reach and able to hold on.
I'd say they're pretty solid up the middle, don't you?
I don't know if there's a place they're not solid.
Oh, they're solid there, I'll tell you that.
And Camden Ross, the catcher, will step in, reached on an error, would eventually score. This time he grounds it over to short, routine play for Alisea. Throw is there at first. Again, a great grab by Davis. And the Hilltopper lineup that racked up 5 hits in the opening inning, silence in the second. But it's WKU with a 4-0 lead through 2 as we head to the top of the third here at Nick Dennis Field in Bowling Green. 4-0 Louisville trailing at WKU. They've won 80% of their games against in-state opponents under Dan McDonnell in his 20th season with the Cardinals. Of every coach nationally since they hired him in 2007, the 4th most wins in the country this Louisville program has when you stack it up against everybody. Coach McDonnell picking up win number 800 over the course of this season and coming off of his 6th World Series appearance last year.
Well, he's just a legend. In 20 years, he's really established the Cardinals as a force to be reckoned with nationally, and have great admiration for what Coach McDonnell has accomplished at Louisville.
And on the other side for WKU, after a sterling first 2 innings, the Hilltoppers are going to make the call to the bullpen as well with Bryson Vaughter. As you see there, just an inning pitch so far on the season for the junior from Topeka, Kansas, transferring in from Kansas City Community College. This is one of those games on both sides. Obviously, Jim, this was a discussion we had off air before the broadcast.
Yep.
Both teams want to win this game, but over the course of a midweek game like this, you're going to see a lot of prove-it situations for different players, and now Vaughter's getting one of those.
Absolutely, and you'll see it for Louisville throughout this game too. Conference games are golden, and no matter who you're playing in the midweek, you've got to protect your rotation for the weekend, and both teams are doing that. And I love it though, because I'll tell you why. Because these are the moments where these coaches get to find out what they have at the back end sometimes of the pitching staff, and stars are made in situations like this sometimes.
So Vaughter will get things started against Cade Elam, and the first pitch floated into left field. Drifting in under to making the play is Nazarenas for the first out of the inning.
One thing that WKU has done well so far in these first 3 innings, Tyler, is they've been around the plate. They're not giving anything. There's no hit by pitches, no 4-pitch walks, none of that stuff. They're making Louisville earn it, and that's what you have to do against a really good hitting team. You've got to make them earn it, because if you give them anything free, then those bats come alive, and that can lead to 6-8 run innings.
Alisea is hit by that one as it came inside.
Yeah, that's what you don't want.
Absolutely, as a free base runner at the bottom of the order. If you're Alisea, your entire job is to reach in whatever fashion you can do so.
You're down 4, see, and whatever it takes to get on base. And conversely, you do on the mound, you do anything to avoid that with a 4-run lead.
Alisea can run as well. He's got 5 stolen bases on the season. As perhaps the most dangerous base runner in the country, Lucas Moore is the man standing at the plate. First pitch chopped right side. Just making the tag with it is Arroyos, and the Cardinals have 2 down on the fielder's choice that advances Alisea to second.
Yeah, that's a big out, though, because, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they had we're early enough in the game that it wouldn't surprise me if Louisville started moving runners, even down 4 runs. But, boy, what you got to do is, as you know, Tyler, you got to keep more off the bases, and so far they've done that.
So Ben Slanker stands in, drew a walk in the first inning, the lone base runner in that first frame for the Cardinals. .333 hitter on the season, second in this lineup with 6 home runs on the year. Has been limited in his action, just 43 at-bats so far this year. He wanted home run number 7.
Yep, really good breaking pitch right there. Had him off balance.
24 RBI on his 14 hits. When he hits it, he generally hits it hard. Here comes the 1-1.
It's a good
that
pitch.
went all the way for a called strike, too. Balder with a chance here now with 2 strikes to work through his first inning. Extremely efficient.
He's done a good job mixing his pitches so far, too.
See what Slanker has to say about that with the 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Looked at all the way, and a called ball 2. Cardinals now 0 for 3 tonight with runners on base. Here comes the 2-2. That one's low, and the count runs full. Slanker, an extremely smart batter. 18 walks drawn this year to just 7 strikeouts.
Yeah. That's what makes their lineup so tough. They put the bat on the ball more times than not.
Payoff pitch is lifted into left field. Nazarenas drifts into foul territory and right on the line makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. The Cardinals able to put a runner in scoring position, but stranded there is Alisea. And as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, this Louisville lineup still scoreless, and it's the Hilltoppers holding a 4-0 lead at Nick Dennis Field. 4-0 WKU here in Bowling Green. Big Red all smiles. I guess we could call that a smile. I don't know if Big Red knows how to do anything else but smile, as it's a packed crowd here tonight at Nick Dennis Field.
Yep, standing room only.
Not just in the stands, but lined up as they usually are down each foul pole. And the Hilltoppers have had quite a lot to cheer about so far with a 4-0 lead. All 4 runs on 5 hits coming in the bottom of the first inning. They'll go 5, 6, 7 to start this 3rd, with Hayden Nazarenas leading things off. Acosta and Holler due up next. Nazarenas 1 for 1 on the day, singled and then was stranded at 3rd. Or not stranded at 3rd. He was picked off at 3rd.
Correct.
And what really set into motion Louisville's escape plan out of that first inning.
Good way to put it.
Otherwise, who knows what that number would have ended up at.
I don't know. You know, we probably should have mentioned this, Tyler. It's kind of incredible when I look down at my scorecard here. The first 9 batters for the Hilltoppers reach base. All of them reach base. I mean, that's
true in one way or another.
That's almost unbelievable. And we only got 4 runs out of it. Hilltoppers only got 4 runs out of it because we had a catcher throw down for an out and pickoff play.
My goodness, they made that defensive play look as routine as possible. Schweitzer with the perfect jump over to first and a fantastic pitch from the hand of the first baseman, Davis. It's the Louisville team that on the season is 2nd in the ACC in fielding percentage, and they're putting on display. That was not an easy play, and they made it look like they do it in their sleep.
Well, and you know, that's what great programs do. That's Coach McDonald has, you know, they've had great pitching through the years. They've had really good hitting through the years, but the foundation of Coach McDonald's program has been defense since day one. And, you know, now you can just see how much confidence they play with. They had an error in that first inning. It's like it never happened now. They just go right back to business, and, yeah, they're fantastic, top tier.
Davis has been brilliant at first since that error. As Acosta looks at the 0-1 down low. He singled in that first inning.
Yeah, with that, and going back to that first inning error, I think really the game situation kind of had Louisville on their heels there.
Yes.
I think that was part of what played into that. We've talked about momentum. Hilltoppers had all of it at that moment.
Costa looked like for a moment he'll try to bunt it. That's one thing the Hilltoppers will do. They don't care if there's anybody on the bases or not. If you've got those corner infielders back even remotely, they'll try to. And now pulling in from third is Hont. And this one is flared over his head into left field and down. Second hit of the ball game for J.P. Acosta.
Yeah, he came to play, I'll tell you.
And now even with a different pitcher in Schweitzer, you can make it 6 for 6 for WKU that have been to the opposite field.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Austin Holler.
Schweitzer did a good job sitting on that one, waiting for his spot, and now Austin Holler, who drew the first of 3 consecutive walks that loaded up the bases in that first inning before Schweitzer came in to retire Robbins and get out of the jam. That the first hit allowed by Schweitzer in his inning and 2/3 of work. Most importantly, he's yet to walk a batter. And we'll see how much he chooses to toy with Acosta over there on first base. And throws back over there once more. That has been an early trend in this game, Jim.
Yes, and I mean, again, it goes back to the scouting report. Coach McDonald knows what the WKU plan is and plan of attack is, and they want to keep them close to the bases.
Hilltoppers 0 for 2, trying to hit and run. One didn't result in any outs, the other did. As this ball is chopped right side, fielded in fair territory by Davis, who steps on the bag for the fielder's choice. So Acosta is advanced. But as Holler goes down, there's 2 away for Manny Alberto.
Manny Alberto worked a walk in the opening inning. He was part of a trio of walks that led to the departure of the Cardinals starting pitcher. But anyway, he got on base the first time, and now he'd be looking to get an RBI.
On the season, just 1 RBI, and it still stands as that walk-off hit against FIU.
It was a big one, wasn't it?
His first career RBI as a Hilltopper, and what a way it was to get it. Hilltoppers 2-0 in their extra innings games this season. Cardinals have not been extras. They've only had 10 of their games decided by 3 or less on the year, whether winning or losing. 6 and 4 in those games. As Alberto now has a 1-1 count. WKU, meanwhile, has seen more than a handful of tight games. Over half of their games this year decided by 3 or less, but that's how they like it. 9 and 4 in those 13.
That's right.
As Alberto again chops it right side, another opportunity for that pitch to first, and once again, Schweitzer covers to perfection. The Hilltoppers able to put one in scoring position, but just like Louisville in the top of the inning, WKU strands one at second in Acosta. It's been all quiet since the bottom of the first, but the 4 all that WKU needs so far, leading it 4-0. Leading Louisville in either the 147th or 150th meeting all time between the two teams. The Louisville side says 150, the WKU side says 147.
Right. What we do know is that generally speaking, Tyler, it's been a competitive series through the years.
Absolutely. If you look at the numbers,
really good.
Has the all-time lead by both counts. The Cardinals have tacked on 3 more wins along the way, and WKU for a long time led this series in terms of wins, but the Cardinals have won 13 of the last 15, the last 2 overall, split in a series that dates back to 1924. The Hilltoppers winning the first ever matchup 11-6. 35-31 according to Louisville on this field. WKU would tell you the Hilltoppers are 35-29 on this field.
And contrary to some rumors, Tyler, I did not work that first game.
I will neither dispute nor support your claim, so we'll leave that there. As the count is 2-0 to the ever dangerous bat of Tag Davis, 0 for 1 today. just barely popped one up into the infield in his first at bat. And looks at a low ball 3. He's one of those batters that realistically might see one pitch in the strike zone into the bat.
Yeah, they're obviously being very careful with him.
And looks at every pitch of that at bat and all 4 called balls, and he'll stroll on over to first with his 14th walk of the season.
You know, it's impressive to see hitters like that. You know, hitters like to hit, Tyler.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, by showing that kind of discipline, they become such a more complete player, and that's why that average is high, because he doesn't Arroyo's like that for the Hilltoppers, and Tag Davis is really as good as they come at being disciplined at the plate.
And Coach Raridan is going to make a bullpen call quickly. Already the 3rd pitcher we'll see for the Hilltoppers, as that'll be it for Bryson Valter, who looked so good in the 3rd inning, but he walks the opening batter in Davis. And with as good as the heart of this Louisville lineup is, WKU is going to go to the bullpen. It's Jude Favela standing in after this. WKU stayed with the lefty Valter for that first at bat of the inning against Tag Davis. Now, as they face off against righty Byram Hott, they bring in their own right-handed pitcher, this time in the form of USC transfer Jude Favela.
Yeah, Jude Favela has actually pitched fairly well this year. He's 2-0 record. He's pitched 11 1/3 innings. He does have a 6.35 ERA, but he's struck out 12 and walked 6. Opposing hitters have a 289 batting average against Favela. We'll see how it goes.
The walks had been the issue early on for Favela. He's gotten the control down a bit in his last couple outings. The other side of things, and this is something to watch with his Louisville lineup, 13 hits given up in that 11 1/3 for Favela. Of those hits, 8 of them for extra bases, 6 doubles, 2 home runs against a Louisville team that only had 4 extra base hits in the entirety of that North Carolina series. They've got 1 tonight with the double off the bat of Nugent. He's a couple bats away in this set for the Cardinals, as the first pitch is fouled straight back for strike 1 against Hott, who struck out in his first appearance in the 2nd inning. I guess technically in his first appearance in the 1st inning, he got to go back to the dugout after a pitch because of a great play behind home plate from Camden Ross to pick off a runner. 0-1 looked at, 0 away to even up the count at 1 apiece. And now we'll get to see, Jim, just how aggressive the Cardinals get in this spot with a runner on base and nobody out.
It'd be interesting to see.
That one inside. Did it clip him? It does. And Hott not too happy about it.
That's, those smart.
That's the 2nd batter hit in this Louisville lineup by different pitchers.
And what here, Tyler, I'll just point something out here. It's still early and everything, but here's the thing. What Western's pitching was doing so well early, they have not done well this inning, and that's make Louisville hit their way on base.
Yes.
You've got a walk, you've got an HBP, and all of a sudden you've got potential trouble.
Trying to pitch around these dangerous batters, but they've also got good discipline, as that one goes over the head of the catcher Ross, who tried to initially play it but couldn't grab it. I don't think it would have mattered either way as it corralled off that netting. Both runners advance, so make it 2 in scoring position for the ever dangerous bat of Griffin Crane. Cardinals leader in average on the year, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, but a 1-0 count here with 2 in scoring position. Fouls this one off down the left side. It's going to drift out of play. Here comes the 1-1. That one's low, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Jim, you hit the nail on the head. These counts have quickly shifted in the way of the Cardinals, and another well-disciplined batter up in Crane. 14 walks on the year, just 9 strikeouts. That is a trend you'll see in this Cardinal lineup. This ball floated into right field with space to make the play, and under it is Reynolds, but tagging from third and strolling home is Davis, and the Cardinals are on the board from the sacrifice fly from Griffin Crane.
Yeah, that's, you know, you get in trouble when you give free passes, and the Hilltoppers gave 2 free passes via walk and hit by pitch, and resulted in 1 Cardinal run. We'll see if WKU can halt it at this point, but they got a runner on third with less than 2 outs.
Standing in now is Jimmy Nugent, who doubled for the first hit of the ball game. For the Cardinals, his first time up. This one laced left side. Off the initial dive, it's fielded at third. What a play by Acosta. The throw is there, but not before the runner comes across to score in the form of Hott. So the Hilltoppers get the out, but the RBI still goes to Nugent. And just like that, Jim, the Cardinals have cut this lead in half.
Well, it's playing baseball the way it's meant to be played. I mean, they're putting the ball in play. They'll take what they can get right now. They're not necessarily, you know, needing a 5-run inning here. They're just getting themselves back in the ball game, and 4-2 looks a lot better than 4-0 to the Louisville Cardinals.
Especially with the way that the Louisville arms have settled in since that opening inning. 1-0 comes up high. We'll see if the Cardinals continue to roll with Schweitzer, who has really settled things down, or if they'll make a call to the bullpen as the Hilltoppers did to start this inning. As Favela's 2-0 runs the count to 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, Schweitzer has really been solid for the Cardinals since he came in.
And Favela walks Heisel as that one comes inside.
Third free pass of the inning. You just can't live with that recipe for long.
And it sets the stage for Cade Elam, the freshman. 0 for 1 today. Heisel, another one that can move. He's 5 for 5 on the base pads this year. Elam, a .318 hitter now on the season. Tips that one straight back, foul.
Had a good swing. Would not surprise me to see Cardinals on the run here. Not at all.
We'll see if they test Ross again. He caught one stealing in the first inning. And the Hilltoppers are going to gather around head coach Mark Raridan as Favela has thrown 13 pitches, only 5 of them strikes, giving up 2 runs, only 1 of them earned to his credit. Yeah, Davis, the first batter of the inning, was walked before he came in.
Yeah, you touched on his control. You know, I think that's it for him too. I believe we've got a new pitcher.
They are going to make another change for the second time in this 4th inning. The Hilltoppers make the call to the bullpen. The Cardinals still threatening with a runner on and 2 away, but we'll see if WKU can get out of the jam or if Louisville continues to cut into this lead. He is the one tasked with getting WKU out of this 4th inning. The grad transfer righty. Just over 5 innings thrown this year. He's been a strikeout specialist, Jim. Yeah. And they're going to look for him to try to come in with an 0-1 count against Cade Elam and perhaps get strikeout number 10.
Right. I think that the move was made because Frizzy is more of a strikeout pitcher and also has better control. He's struck out 9 batters and walked just 2 in his innings of work this year, so you know, they're looking to end this inning with a K right here, I think.
Originally from California, went to Elk Grove High School in Sacramento, transferring in from Southern Illinois after a couple of years at Sacramento City. And he steps in again with an 0-1 count. There was 1 pitch thrown in the at-bat already to Elam from Favela, who got the first 2 outs of the inning, but gave up the first 2 runs. As this pitch is swung on and missed, and it's an 0-2 count to the freshman Elam. Runner at first is Heisel. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and missed.
There you go.
Job complete for Sam Frizzy, but not before the Cardinals split the WKU lead in half. The Louisville Bats finally come to life. 4-2 now WKU leads as we head to the home half of the fourth. Battle of the Redgrass State, as we coined it earlier. Louisville going to their third straight pitcher from the state of Kentucky, this time in the form of Nicholas Ballard, Louisville native in his freshman season with the Cardinals. Six strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings of work so far this year. He'll go 9-1-2 against this WKU lineup, Jim, that has gone silent. Just one hit since that 4-run opening inning.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we knew that wasn't enough, and it won't be enough. I don't believe with this formidable Louisville lineup. Many innings to go, Hilltoppers are going to have to get back on the board and reclaim the momentum, just as importantly.
What a job by Jake Schweitzer, who finishes with 2 1/3 innings of work, just one hit given up. No more runs put up on the board from the Hilltoppers. He got out of that first inning as WKU was threatening. They had loaded up the bases on walks, and then Schweitzer was able to get out of it, and now sets the stage for Nicholas Ballard to come in what is now a 4-2 ball game as the Cardinals put up their first 2 runs of the game in the top of this inning, with RBIs from Crane and Nugent. And again, we referenced this earlier with this Louisville lineup. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the Bats are going to get rolling. And now the pressure shifts on to WKU and Ethan Reynolds, who will start the inning. 1 for 10 at the plate this year, drew a walk in his first appearance as the Hilltoppers batted around in that first inning. To your point, the first 9 up for WKU all reached in that first inning, and it was really mistakes from the Hilltoppers' part that prevented that from being a higher scoring inning than it was.
You got a runner picked off at third, and you got a runner thrown out at second. You know, Louisville's a really good defensive team, and if you're just you've really got to watch them, because you've seen how many times they throw over to first, Tyler. I mean, they're going to keep you close to the base.
See what Reynolds can do with a 2-0 count now. That pitch misses low as Ballard.
Yep. Again, good plate discipline for the Toppers. They've just shown that the entire game, and they're going to make Ballard throw strikes. He comes in with an ERA over 10, so, you know, they're going to make him earn his keep out there too.
Another one of those spots, a player looking to earn some more run out of this bullpen for Louisville, but off to a rough start with the walk to Reynolds without a strike thrown. Reynolds draws his second walk of the ball game and sets the stage of the Hilltoppers go back to the top of the order with Hayden Robbins, 1 for 2 on the day, singled and scored in the first. Popped out to first base to end that first inning.
He did.
He's got a runner on first, nobody out. In the bottom of the fourth as the Hilltoppers look to respond. Misses up high. Looked like we might see some movement from Reynolds, but he trots back over.
Robbins looks like he wants to lay one down here and move that runner along, but he held off a pitch that was out of the strike zone.
Robbins making his 6th straight start for the Hilltoppers as he looks at that for strike 1. Had a couple of hits in that Jacksonville State series where WKU struggled so much at the plate as a team. And now has a 2-1 count this go around. Big issue in that series Jim, 27 strikeouts for WKU across that series. They had at least 10 in each of the last 2 games. As Robbins sends that one right back off the catcher. And the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a chance here to that point for the Louisville pitching staff to pick up their first strikeout of this game.
Toppers have done a good job. You know, they've put the ball in play when strikes have been thrown, and they've laid off pitches when balls have been thrown. That's a recipe for success.
That was the key to that first inning. It's not that everyone they hit was hard. There were a couple of big doubles, but everything else was just putting the ball in play and giving yourself a chance to have something.
Yeah, good things happen, you know, when you put it in play. And as you noted about the Jacksonville State series, bad things happen when you don't put the ball in play.
Baseball's not too complicated,
It's not.
is it?
When you get right down to it, it's fairly simple.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Robbins. Reynolds bouncing around over at first. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 3. There's the first strike out of the game for the Cardinals. It's Ballard that gets it.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. It just froze Robbins there. He couldn't pull the trigger.
That's a 4 of the Hilltoppers. First
That's a good pitch.
Put in the perfect spot. That's one as a hitter. You almost have to tip your cap and say, well, if that's where you wanted it and that's where you got it, that's your strike 3 to have. As Arroyos will stand in. 1 for 2 on the game. Had an RBI double deep to left field in the first inning.
You know, his second time up for Arroyo was that outstanding play by the Louisville shortstop. Arroyo was close to being 2 for 2 in this game.
Oh, he wanted Coach Reardon to take a look at that one off the throw from Alisea, but he never did. We get another throw over to first to check on Reynolds.
Third baseman's crept in, but I don't think Arroyo's bunting here. I think Arroyo's swinging away.
See if that's the case for the Hilltopper leader in home runs, doubles, and RBI. He's got a 1-0 count. As Reynolds stands at first. He drew 4-pitch walk to start the inning. That one misses low off the hand of Ballard, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
You know, Tyler, I just realized something. I should have picked up on this earlier, but we have an example of truly a hot corner today with the Louisville. That's the hot corner for sure, with Hot at third.
Not just a great name, but an appropriate one. And here for the first time tonight, we see the Hilltoppers pull one. They heard you mention the hot corner and said, we're staying away from that.
Yeah, he did.
And it's Arroyos with his second hit of the ball game, this time to right field.
Yeah, he's just such a great hitter. He just hits the ball where it's pitched.
Next up, for Western designated.
I wonder if that's one of those where Byram Hott shows up for his first Little League game, and the coaches are just sitting there and they're like, you know what? We're just going to put you at third, and that's where you're going to play.
I think so. I think you're
because we can call you the hot corner for the rest of your life.
And I think you're tempting fate if you put him anywhere else, okay?
So with 2 on and 1 away here before Kyle Hayes can stand in, the Cardinals are going to have a meeting on the mound. And they're going to make another pitching change as well. This will be the 4th one for Louisville as Ballard only lasts a third of the inning. WKU has 2 on and 1 away. Now Jack Brown, the one to stand in. The sophomore from Indiana comes in relief for the Cardinals. Jack Brown in on the mound for Louisville. 2 on base for WKU with 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning as he comes in with the Hilltoppers holding a 4-2 lead. They've gone to young players all day long in terms of the pitching staff. Here another sophomore in the form of Brown. And Jim, it's another one when you look at the numbers, the walks stand out.
Yep.
And we're going to see if that control can get under control against a Hilltopper lineup that's really taken advantage of so many pitches outside of the strike zone.
They have. They've done a really good job of laying off bad pitches. And, again, I'll come back to what I said earlier, Tyler. Both of these coaches want to find – they're testing their deep end of their bullpen. You know, Louisville's had some pitching trouble, and frankly, WKU has had some pitching trouble at times this year. They're just trying to solidify their staffs. They're trying to figure out their true weekend rotation and long relievers and closer types, and we're still early enough in the season where they're finding some things out in midweek games like this.
That pitching has been the bugaboo this year for Louisville. They've got the third highest ERA average against and have given up the third most home runs in the ACC. They've walked the second most batters in the league this year, and came into today having given up the second most doubles. They've given up 2 of those as well. As Hayes stands in, he's got one of the two baggers for the Hilltoppers. Look back to second, and this time back well beforehand is Reynolds trying to get another free out like they were able to back in the first inning when they got a couple of them.
That was a big one, at third especially.
Hayes lined out to second on a tremendous play from Elam in the second inning. First pitch of this at bat outside for ball 1. Last time WKU was here at this field, the series against FIU, Hayes came out and erupted for 5 RBI in the opening game of that series. This time, grounds one hard over to first, up with it, and just making the play at first base is Tag Davis. So both runners advance. Now Hilltoppers have them at second and third, but 2 away for Camden Ross in the cleanup spot.
Now batting for the Hilltoppers, the catcher.
Ross is really good in situations like this. You know, he's a veteran player who prides himself in being a clutch hitter, and we'll see what happens here because he's another Hilltopper with really great plate discipline.
Coach Raridan has moved him all over the place in this lineup now in the cleanup spot tonight. He's scored 27 runs this season. That's the top mark for WKU. Has also shown great plate discipline, as you mentioned, with 20 walks to just 16 strikeouts. 0 for 2 today, but reached on an error and scored in the first. He's got 2 on with 2 away here. Golden opportunity for WKU to add on to this lead.
Interesting how, I haven't noticed this the entire game, but with Ross, they've really squeezed the outfield, Tyler. You've got plenty of room down both lines here for Ross.
See if he's able to jump out on one or lay off on one to either side. Looks at that one for a called strike 1.
Good pitch. Pitcher's pitch right there.
Ross, one of the rare players at this mid-major level, a 4th-year senior at WKU. He's been on this entire journey with Mark Raridan. Looks off that pitch for ball 3. And has been a key cog in this machine over the last few years.
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of this team, of Coach Raridan, the Coach Raridan era. I would call him the heart and soul.
3-1 looked at, and the count runs full. What a pitch this is early on in this ball game. Runners on second and third, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away to Camden Ross. The senior leader against the sophomore Brown fires in the pitch.
There you go.
Into left field and through. 1 in for WKU. They're going to hold a runner at third, but the Hilltoppers get 1 back on the RBI single to left from Camden Ross.
You know, Tyler, that was such a patient at bat. There were a couple of pitches that Ross could have swung at that were called strikes, but he waited and got his pitch.
RBI number 17 on the year for Ross makes it 5-2 WKU with their first run since the opening inning. And now runners on the corners for Hayden Nazarenas, and you got to know Ross is going to bounce around over at first as the first pitch comes in. Looked at all the way for strike 1. Ross has only officially stolen 1 base this year, but he's a high-end athlete for a catcher. We'll see if Mark Raridan does anything tricky here with 2 outs. 0-1 comes in. Looked at all the way for a called ball one. Nazarenas 1 for 2 so far, singled in the first, grounded out in the third. He's got Arroyos over at third and Ross at first. Here comes the 1-1, down low.
Again, really good plate discipline. That's really worked in WKU's favor in this game. They have some offensive struggles at times, but it's not because of plate discipline. They know a strike from the difference between a strike and the ball for sure.
Another thing that's been huge for WKU, 4 for 8 as a team with runners in scoring position. Louisville 0 for 3. Got those 2 runs across with a fly out and a ground out.
Yeah, they got 2 runs without a hit.
Yes. And just 1 hit total for the ball game. Here comes the 2-1. Beautiful pitch that time from Brown, and the count is run even.
Yeah, very good pitch right there by Brown. Nazarenas was clearly looking for a fastball there, and he painted the black with that one. 2
balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 away. Deuces wild in a 5-2 ball game. Swing and a miss, strikeout picked up from Jack Brown to bring the inning to a close. The Cardinals had to go to the pen once again, and before Brown gets out of the jam, one comes across for the Hilltoppers on the RBI single from Camden Ross, and after 4, 5-2 is the WKU lead.
Houchins Insurance Group is an employee-owned, independent agency with national reach. Our specialization approach and ownership mentality allows us to operate on agility, delivering fast, tailored solutions to our clients. Our 3 C's of service, clients, co-owners, and communities, guide everything that we do. We care deeply for each customer and believe in building meaningful, lasting partnerships.
Whether you're traveling for work or leisure, Three Springs Hospitality is your home away from home. Each hotel is unique and offers a variety of different amenities to all types of travelers. Parking and Wi-Fi are always free. Plus, select hotels offer complimentary breakfast. The best part is WKU's campus is 10 minutes away from any of our hotels. So be sure to book your travel in the Fan Zone Travel Center on WKU Athletics website. Book your stay today.
Well, a rarity tonight as we don't start an inning with a pitching change. Sam Frizzy will stay out there on a beautiful evening here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Great turnout for this one. An in-state matchup between WKU and Louisville, and what is amplified up a bit as a rivalry as the Hilltoppers have gotten back on the map under head coach Mark Reardon in his 4th year here at WKU. 2 of the greats when it comes to college baseball coaching facing off in this one with Dan McDonnell on the other side. For Louisville, the Cardinals will go 9-1-2 in the order to get this 5th inning started, trailing at 5-2 as the Hilltoppers had a 4-0 lead after 1. Both teams scoring for the first time since then in the 4th. Cardinals put up 2 in the top half. WKU answered with 1 to push the lead back out to 3. And it's the shortstop, Alex Alicea, leading things off. Alicea so far tonight has yet to get a hit, but he was hit by a pitch in his first trip up in the 3rd. This time squares to bunt, and it's a called strike 1. Hilltoppers have hit a couple of batters in this one. We'll see how long Frizzy, the strikeout specialist, stays out here for WKU. Came in for his first batter to get out of that 4th inning. Got a strikeout to do so.
Play.
What a beautiful job at first from Arroyos to make the dive, make the tag, and get the first out of the inning.
Yep, another player who you wouldn't maybe think is very nimble. I mentioned that about Nugent, the Louisville catcher. And this is a tremendous play by Arroyos. Robbed him of a hit.
Jumped up quick enough to go make the play himself as well. Back to the top of the order with Lucas Moore. 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. He's just looking to make contact any way he can and give himself a chance.
We mentioned earlier, Tyler, at the top of the broadcast that Moore came in under 300. He's struggling a little bit. The Hilltoppers have done a good job keeping him off base, which is key, because once he's on base, he can steal second and third on you in a heartbeat for sure. He's a great base runner.
Led the entire country last year with 53 steals. Was an All-American last season. He's got 17 steals this year. That's top 5 in the ACC. Rips this one into right field, and he's going to have a chance to make something happen on the bases.
That's what a leadoff batter is supposed to do. He found a gap there, and now it'll be interesting to see how soon he will be off to the races.
Allen with back-to-back dangerous lefties up in Slanker and Davis. We'll see if WKU sticks with Frizzy or if we'll see the 5th pitcher of this one for the Hilltoppers. Moore was able to jump out on that one. He's only been caught twice on the base paths this year. Ross has caught one today. Frizzy fires in the first pitch of this, a beautiful off speed for strike one. Slanker is walked and flown out. That was his 18th walk of the season and just 7 strikeouts. 0-1, lined into left field and through. Gonna have a chance to be big time trouble, and it is. With the speed of Moore, no doubt where he's headed, it's home. And the Cardinals have cut the lead to 2 with the RBI double off the bat of Slanker.
Great piece of hitting right there. Hit it where it was pitched, and with Moore on first with blazing speed, there was absolutely no chance.
Boy, it's fun to watch him round the bases, isn't it?
It is. It is fun to watch him run the bases.
Less fun for head coach Mark Reardon and WKU to watch as the Hilltoppers are going to make another call to the bullpen off the RBI double off the bat of Slanker. Second double of the day for a Louisville team that came in amongst the leaders in the ACC in that department, top 10 of the country, as the Hilltoppers need to find an answer going to the bullpen for the 5th time in this one. Their lead cut to 2 here in the top of the 5th. For Dominic Monaco getting the call as the 5th pitcher in this one for WKU after Louisville brings home one on the RBI double from Slanker, who will stand at second for the dangerous bat of Tag Davis. Monaco making his 4th appearance of the season, has shown some more ability to go deeper into games, but Jim, given how this one has gone so far, the Hilltoppers just looking for an answer with 2 out of the next 3 coming up, left-handed batters for this Cardinals offense.
I think Coach Reardon is just going to play the percentages as long as his bullpen will let him, because, you know, the thing about holding down Louisville is what you mentioned earlier, Tyler, is that look at the bottom of their order. Their bottom of their order is filled with great players, filled with great hitters. So you just got to get them one at a time. I mean, that's a big challenge for anyone facing Louisville this year, is you just got to get them one at a time. And you can't give free passes or they'll take advantage of it.
Oh, it's Tag Davis, the ACC leader in home runs and RBIs, standing in with a runner at second and 1 away in the top of the 5th inning with his Cardinals trailing at 5-3. But I don't know if there's another batter in the country that you would take to be your tying run standing at the plate. 0 for 1 officially tonight, but drew a walk and scored in the 4th. As a 1-1 count now against Monaco.
He is a formidable presence in that batter's box.
And what a spot to stand in for Monaco. Here comes the 1-1.
That's a good pitch.
Oh, what a breaking ball. Make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just slash that one across the plate. Here comes the 1-2. Leaves that one alone, and Ross dives after it.
2 really good defensive catchers.
Monaco played at Brentwood Academy down in Tennessee. He's a first-team All-State player. Now facing an All-American. Turns and throws that one back to second, but Slanker was well ahead of it. As we get set for the 2-2 to Davis. Just a hush around the crowd awaiting this pitch. Here comes the 2-2. It's flown into left field. Oh my. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Tag Davis strikes for home run number 14 of the season. I said it, Jim.
Yep.
If you've got your tying run at the plate, who else would you pick?
He's the one. He just proved it, too. Great piece of hitting right there against lefty-lefty situation, too. It didn't matter. He's a professional hitter.
Set the Louisville freshman record for home runs last year. At number 14 of the season.
Yeah, he didn't try to do too much with that. He just he let his natural power do the work there. It was a really good swing on the baseball, taking it the other way.
That's when you know you can hit one too. When it's not 100% swing.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
And all of a sudden, this game is tied up at 5 apiece.
We said 4 wouldn't be enough, didn't we?
Absolutely. As Byron Mott stands in. 0 for 1 officially on the day.
Here's a spot for WKU. We talked about momentum. It's all with Louisville right now.
Yes.
But here's the thing. There's nobody on base, and WKU has a chance to regain a little of that momentum if they can stop it right here. Sort of like Louisville did at the end of the first inning.
That ball fouled straight back. As the Cardinals have put up 3 runs this inning to tie this thing up. Hott was hit by a pitch and scored one of the 2 in the 4th inning. Has a 1-2 count now. Monaco fires and called strike 3.
That's a really good pitch.
That's a way to bounce back from Dominic Monaco.
Presented by Kentucky Lottery.
And it brings Griffin Crane back up to the plate. So we take another look. I think that a really good frame chop from behind the plate.
The frame got it.
It was.
You're right about that.
That's a 4th-year senior in Ross.
That's exactly what that is. Exactly.
Crane officially 0 for 1, but had a RBI on a sac fly in the 4th. Struck out his first time up in the 2nd. Two-0 on its way, looked at again, and it's 3 balls, no strikes now to Crane. That one a called strike 1 for Monaco to Crane. We mentioned it earlier, such an incredible story. Didn't see any action last year after an incredible high school career. Rhode Island Player of the Year. Was even a high school All-American as he fouls that one off to run the count full and has come out this year and been one of the premier hitters in one of America's premier conferences. Top 5 in the ACC in average coming into today. Now sitting right at 420 as the payoff is on its way and looked at for ball 4. Crane will reach on the full count walk.
Now batting the catcher, number 26, Jimmy Nugent.
And one of the biggest things that has really swung in this one as Nugent will stand back in, Jim, is this packed out crowd. As I mentioned, that the hush kind of hit during that at bat with Davis, and they've gone silent.
Yeah, that'll do it to the home crowd when the visitors tie it up with a two-run bomb like that.
There's a called strike one to Nugent, and that's a bigger thing maybe than you'd expect for a Louisville team that, again, is just playing their 4th true road game of the season. So if you can make it a hostile road environment, there's a big advantage to it. But they have silenced the Hilltopper faithful. Over to first, back safely is Crane. Nugent doubled his first time up in the 2nd. Had an RBI ground out in the 4th. So 2 productive at-bats so far. First of 4 straight righties in the bottom of this order. They've got lefties 4 out of the first 5. Then you see righties the rest of the way. And that explains why we've seen so many pitching changes for WKU. One ball, one strike. This one grounded under the pitcher, Monaco, charging in from second. To step on the bag is Haller.
Yep.
And that will bring the inning to a close, but not before the Cardinals tack on 3, including the 2-run bomb from Tag Davis. And this game is as though it just started. We're all even here at WKU. We'll square it 5 apiece as we head to the home half of the 5th. Here at Nick Dennis Field, where WKU went 30-3 last year, the most home wins in the country. Just 12-7 this year, but 4 straight wins coming into tonight. Hilltoppers jumped out to a 4-0 lead after 1. Couldn't add to that total until the 4th inning after Louisville attacked on their first 2. Got one more in the bottom of the 4th. 5-2 it was going into the 5th before the Cardinals strike for 3, including the 2-run home run from Tag Davis. And now we'll see how the Hilltoppers can respond. 6, 7, 8 they go with J.P. Acosta leading things off. 2 for 2 so far with a couple of singles.
He had a nice day, J.P. has. He seems to be seeing the ball real well. And Coach Reardon would love to get him on base right here.
But it's been a different pitcher every time as the first pitch floated in perfectly from Jack Brown, who got the final 2 outs of that home half of the 4th, including a strikeout to bring the inning to a close. That went up high for ball 1 to Acosta. Hilltoppers have hit it extremely well today. 8 hits and 19 official at-bats. They've drawn 4 walks as well. Now that one comes inside for ball 2. It's just from WKU, it's a lot more of that small ball versus a Louisville team that just 4 hits so far, including just 1 with runner in scoring position, but that 1 was the 2-run home run from Davis.
It's sort of how Louisville's built compared to WKU. They're built differently.
It's a team that can hit for average. They're hitting .345 on the year. That's top 10 in the country, but a lot of pop in those bats. As again, a great pitch from Brown evens up the count at 2-2.
Yeah, he's having more success with his breaking ball right now than his fastball. Having a little trouble locating his fastball.
And it was WKU that was jumping out on the fastball in that first inning. So it makes more sense to go to that off speed as here the 2-2 is rifled in outside. And the count runs full. Hilltoppers 4 walks, 2 strikeouts at the plate today. Acosta awaits the payoff. Brown deals it. Foul. Right at the Hilltopper dugout.
How do you do?
I think it might have caught the leg of the photographer over there. He's going to walk it off. And we'll try the payoff again. Chopped right back at the pitcher. Great recovery from Brown, who had initially taken a bad jump at it, but recovered and tosses it over to first for the first out of the inning.
Well, that's a big pitch by Brown just to get that ground ball because it's full count, and it keeps the WKU off the base.
And it brings Austin Holler up with one away, nobody on. Brown has shown some flexibility in how much he's pitched. Has thrown as many as 71 pitches against Notre Dame in their first series in conference play.
His fastball's is very lively. He's had a little trouble at times locating it, but you can see why he's out there. He's got a very good breaking pitch.
Being the fourth pitcher in tonight for the Cardinals, we'll see just how long Coach McDonald tries to leave him out there. Just over 20 pitches so far. As he faces off against Holler 0 for 1 today with a ground out, and this time floats it into shallow right just over the head of the leaping second baseman Elam, and Holler is reached for the second time tonight.
Well, that's Austin Holler in a nutshell. Anything to get on, anything. He's a lot like Ross in terms of the way he battles at the plate, left-handed version.
Thought again that Elam was going to make a web gem over there at second. When he's been in range, he's usually plucked it.
If he can get to it, he's going to catch it.
But it sets the stage for Manny Alberto. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk in the first. That's 7, 8, 9 in the order. All drew walks in that first inning. Holler has stolen 9 bases this year, only caught once.
One thing that's been consistent throughout this game is that Louisville is not shy at throwing over to first base. No. They know WKU's plan of attack for sure.
Called strike 1 in to Alberto. Coach McDonald well acquainted with how Mark Reardon wants to operate. It's WKU team, we mentioned, is not known for their power. So they're going to try to move those base runners and put the pressure on you to make some plays. 0-1 comes in low. 1 ball, 1 strike with Ethan Reynolds standing on deck for the Hilltoppers in the bottom of the order. Alberto steps out of the box. This Louisville team 5-1 in midweek so far this season. This is the first one away from home. The lone loss, I said I wouldn't mention this team again. 13-5 to Morehead State. That's the last time we'll mention them. Louisville fans, it's okay. Over to first and signing back in safely is Holler. WKU just 1-2 in their midweeks. Lost at Kentucky and Cincinnati. Got a win against Belmont in what was technically a road game, but they played it down at the Nashville Sound Stadium. First Horizon.
Nice place. That's a beautiful park.
On 1 pitch on its way. Big swing, big miss from Alberto. And Brown jumps up in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tied him up a little there inside. Be interesting to see if Holler might be on the move here. Try to manufacture something.
1-2 count with 1 away. Pitch is low, and again, an excellent job by Nugent to slide over in front of it. Boy, he has been fantastic behind the plate.
He's something else. He and Ross are both really excellent defensive catchers.
Typically a hallmark of a good team.
Yes, championship teams have catchers of that nature, and they're solid hitters too, both of them.
Holler slides back in safely. Crowd getting a little impatient. Don't know that I've ever seen such thing as a patient crowd. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one flared into left field, and it's grabbed on a slide. What a play by Crane, and trotting back to first is Holler.
There's that defense again.
And again, just made it look routine.
Yeah, well, they've just played with such confidence. I mean,
for the Hilltoppers, right fielder number 35, Ethan Reynolds.
So it brings Ethan Reynolds up for WKU, getting the start in right field tonight. Came in with just 10 at-bats officially on the season. In his 2 trips up tonight, he's drawn walks both times and would score in the 4th inning.
He's actually been very productive in that spot in the order.
Sliding back again safely is Haller. If Reynolds can reach here, they get it back to the top with Hayden Robbins. Another throw over to first. Had an instance, it was the middle game of that FIU series for WKU, where the Hilltoppers started every odd-numbered inning at the top of their order in terms of batting. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah, crazy.
Another throw over to first. The result the same.
You know, when you watch a lot of baseball, you say that a lot. Never seen anything like it. Let me tell you, that's the nature of this game.
Crowd chanting for one more throw over to first. We'll see if they get it. They don't, as the pitch is in and low for ball 1. Although I'm sure if this at-bat continues more than a couple pitches, we'll see another throw over at Haller. And again, it's probably the right decision. Here comes the 1-0. Fired in for a call, strike 1. That was an excellent job by Nugent of putting that one over the plate.
Yeah. We've got 2 catchers who are not only skilled defensively, but they're crafty, okay? They know how to frame a pitch, and that'll steal an out. Over the course of the season, that steals a lot of outs for you.
Chopper left side, foul. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Reynolds. Brown looking to get out of a second inning unscathed to his record. If you're Louisville at this point, you'll take any scoreless innings for these Hilltopper bats. Now the Cardinals have tied this game up at 5. Looking to take some more momentum into the 6th. Throw over to first, and there the crowd gets their 1 more.
They did. They got it.
Although I'm sure they'll chant for another. As Reynolds awaits the 1-2 from Brown. Fires quickly, fouled straight back, and the at-bat continues. Big spot for the local kid from South Warren High School. Chops it left side and through in the left field. Reynolds 3 for 3 on reaching base tonight.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. You know, you find out a lot about your roster in games like this. This is the Louisville Cardinals in town. This guy, they haven't gotten out yet, okay? And he's in the 9th in the order, local kid, and he's proven his worth tonight.
Number 24, Hayden Robbins.
And you get it back to the top of the order with Hayden Robbins with 2 on and 2 away. Cardinals going to stick with Brown here against Robbins. 1 for 3 so far today. The first 2 at-bats both in the first inning. First pitch of this one misses low for ball 1.
This is a big at-bat for the Tops right here. Robbins singled and scored in that first inning, and they're looking for some production right here to reclaim the lead.
Hilltoppers 7 for 15 with runners on base tonight. They've been excellent in that department. In fact, of their 23 total at-bats, this is remarkable, 15 of them have been with runners on base.
Yeah, that's why that first inning could have wound up being a 6 to 8 run inning.
Absolutely.
And they let it get away from them a little bit.
2-0 count to Robbins. Looks at that one all the way. 3 balls, no strikes.
Now you're getting a little bit of danger zone for Louisville because Arroyos is on deck, and you don't want to load him up for him. He's WKU's answer to Tay.
3-0 a called, strike 1. Fired in across the plate from Brown. Cardinals have A lefty warming up in the bullpen, potentially for the lefty Arroyos. But we'll see if it gets there. 3-1 count to Robbins. Pitch fired in, grounded left side, and making the tag at third to get out of the inning for the Cardinals is Hott. Byram Hott handles the hot corner, and the Hilltoppers strand two. An excellent job by Jack Brown to get out of the jam through 5. We're tied at 5 going into the 6th. Getting set to start the 6th inning here at WKU, and stop me if you've heard this before. We've got a new pitcher. Kane Samuels in for WKU, the 6th pitcher now for the Hilltoppers, the big 6'7", 240-pound freshman from Louisville. What an opportunity to stand in against his hometown Cardinals.
Yeah, it is a good opportunity for Cade, and it's also a very important inning for the Hilltoppers to put a 0 on that board, because we're talking about 7, 8, and 9. You got to take care of that end. Even though they're really good at the end of their order, they're not quite as good as they are at the top and the middle of their order. And you know, it would be fortuitous for the Hilltoppers if they could go 1, 2, 3 right here.
Only a couple of innings of work so far for Samuels, the Ballard graduate. Pitched an inning against Indiana State, an inning against Belmont, has not given up a run nor a hit, with 1 strikeout to his credit. And he'll get the 7, 8, 9 spots. And I mentioned this earlier, this lineup set up to where you have some switch hitter action that you can go to, 2 straight righties, or 2 righties out of the bottom 4 lineup with Nugent and Elam, but Heisel and Alisea can both switch hits, so this lineup set up to really be a nightmare to try to game plan against
it's
from
tough.
a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you got to take, to be honest with you, really, Tyler, you got to take a few chances, you know, when you've got switch hitters in there, and hope for the best in certain situations, or you'd be changing a pitcher every at bat.
Heisel fouls this one off down the left side. He's 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. One of 4 walks drawn by these Louisville bats. Cardinals hitting 4 for 17. WKU 10 for 24, and yet this game tied up at 5 apiece. This one dribbled to the right side. Holler with a hot throw to first, just in time for the out.
Veteran play right there. He didn't panic. He stayed poised and made the play.
Mentioned earlier, Louisville 2nd in the ACC in fielding percentage. WKU 2nd in Conference USA in that department.
Number 2, Cade Elam.
And now Cade Elam. The righty will stand in for the Cardinals. He's 0 for 2 today with a fly out to left and a strikeout. First pitch of this at bat is swung on and hammered right up the middle.
Yeah, it's a good piece of hitting right there. He just ripped it right up the middle.
From about age 8 and on, that's exactly how they teach you to do it.
That's how you're supposed to do it right there.
It's the first hit given up on the season for Samuels on the single into center field from Elam.
Next up, the shortstop, number 0, Alex Alisea.
And now Alex Alisea, the shortstop, who has been so good defensively, will stand in. Was hit by a pitch his first time up in the 3rd. Grounded out to first in the 5th, and he looks at that pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, it's a good breaking ball to start the count, get ahead. It's important in these situations. Louisville, be interesting to see if they try to move the run, be active in this inning and steal a run.
Elam only 1 steal, but he's scored 21 times this year, and he's going to have a chance to run here. Throw down, is it there? It is!
Wow.
What a recovery that time from behind the plate. Camden Ross catches his 2nd runner of the game.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any chance for him to get him. That's just not giving up on the play right there. Camden just threw a strike.
And a great tag from Alberto as well.
Yeah, he's slick fielder too at short.
And a great job. That's another thing that can get glossed over is this turf. It's hard to judge a hit off the turf. It's hard to judge a throw off the turf. And Alberto handled that perfectly.
Well, he's just been, his glove work has been excellent since he's been in there for Reed Howard. And, he's done a great job for a backup shortstop for sure.
Now Alisea down in the count. Pitch on its way and a called strike
Wow.
3. A quick inning from Kane Samuels.
Yep.
He gets his help from the defense behind him. And after giving up 3 runs in the top of the 5th, the Hilltoppers shut Louisville down in the top of the 6th. But do they have an answer in the bottom half? We're still tied up at 5 here at WKU. Well, Groundhog Day was last month, but we're stuck in a loop here in Bowling Green because guess what? We've got a new pitcher, Peter Michael, coming out of the bullpen for Louisville, making his 6th appearance of the season. That high ERA might catch your eye, but what immediately catches mine is the 12 strikeouts in 7 innings of work. We'll see what he can do with a Hilltopper lineup that he'll face off against the heart of 2-3-4 coming up to get things started.
Well, we'll see if WKU can get something going here. Michael struggled as far as giving up runs this year, and we'll see what happens. Opposing batters are hitting over 400 against Michael.
And he'll go right up against the best that WKU has to offer in Lane Arroyos, who is 2 for 3 today, an RBI double in the first inning, singled in the 4th. Grounded out in between in the 2nd inning. WKU 10 hits in this ball game, but we're tied up at 5 apiece. Thanks in large part to the 2-run home run from Tague Davis and a 3-run 5th inning for Louisville. WKU came out with 4 runs in the first, and I mean, we've said this several times, Jim, but for those just joining us, that easily could have been a much bigger inning, and I can't believe my eyes. We have had a double swap.
Wow.
As they go right back into the hand after initially Michael comes in. Jack Brown is going to come back in for the Cardinals.
That was
and
interesting.
Stay in the game. He had gone an inning and 2/3. He comes out for Peter Michael. Michael warms up. And now Brown comes back in. This is the rug pull of the century from Dan McDonald.
Trying to
who
figure
I
that one
think
out.
heard us exclaim from up here that we had another pitching change and decided that we needed one more.
Yeah, it looks like it. We've had a lot of them.
We see you, Coach. Just plug those ears. You don't have to listen to what we have to say.
Yeah, between pitching changes and pickoff attempts at first, we've had our share, okay?
Now, with that being said, I am not going to question anything that Dan McDonald does.
Not a thing. No,
he could switch pitchers 10 times if he wanted to.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago it's not a good idea to question Hall of Famers too hard, okay? That's what Dan McDonald is.
Dan McDonald himself could decide to come out to pitch, and I really wouldn't have a thing to say about it.
Well, in this era of NIL and everything, Dan may have a year left.
There's got to be a year of eligibility left there.
Somewhere.
Although I'm sure he might ask for a couple more bucks to come out there and throw. But as it stands, it will be Brown that's in on the mound for Louisville and facing off against Arroyos. We haven't had a batter change.
No.
That will hold firm. And I'm sure that Brown is eager to get this at-bat underway. Here comes the first pitch to Arroyos, looked at low for ball 1. Again, I referenced this earlier, but when you look at all the chess pieces being moved around, there is no doubt that both these coaches want this game bad.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, you get to this point in the game and the game's tied, and then all of a sudden it becomes a tremendous chess match between two great coaches. And it's a lot of fun for them, too. This doesn't sink or swim. This doesn't sink or swim their season one way or the other, but it is in-state, and that always adds a little extra luster to it.
Now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Arroyos after that one is fouled down the right side. Here comes the 1-2, and laying off is Arroyos, and the count runs even. Big pitch here. Brown delivers. Off the bounce, it's collected. Behind the plate by the catcher, Nugent. And we've got another full count.
Big pitch right here. We're getting late now, and this is a big pitch for both teams.
Here comes the payoff from Brown. Looked at for a called ball four. It was close.
Yep.
But Arroyo's confident.
Yeah, a little inside. Arroyo's just has a laser eye at the plate. It's unbelievable, his eye at the plate.
And if you'd believe this.
I wonder if Peter Michael's coming. Yeah.
I believe we're going to get a pitching change here. And Peter Michael did not run back to the bullpen. Instead, he went into the dugout, and now he'll just walk out of the dugout and come into this game to pitch for Louisville.
Okay.
So we're going to step away as Peter Michael can get another round of warm-ups in, and I think that when we come back, Peter Michael will be pitching for Louisville. We're going to all have to find out together after this. Is Peter Michael, and we think he's going to stay out there to pitch in this one for Louisville. The righty, originally from California, transferred in from Northwestern, spent last year with the Cardinals, started 13 times, has now been used mostly out of the bullpen as this season has gone on, Jim.
I will say this, Tyler, his stats have not changed since we last saw him, okay?
For somebody that is now going to throw their first official pitch of this ball game, very familiar with where he's going to be pitching from. He's had 2 full warm-ups, and I'd take 2 full rounds of warm-ups to get ready to face off against Kyle Hayes, who already has an RBI on a double tonight. 1 for 3 with a line out and a ground out to follow that first inning double. As Lane Arroyo stands at first, drawing the walk, as officially the final batter faced by Jack Brown. And that one gets away, and this time trotting over to second will be Arroyos for all the fantastic plays that Nugent has been able to make to keep pitches in front of him.
Yep.
Couldn't contain that one.
That one got away from him. That's fortuitous for Hilltoppers. I mean, you got a runner on second. That's like somebody leading off with a double.
Yes.
People don't understand. That's so big because all of a sudden you've got a runner just like that in scoring position and a really good hitter at the plate.
Hayes with 7 multi-RBI games this season. He's already got 1 tonight, as that one misses low as well, and the count is 3 balls and no strikes. Michael has given up 14 earned runs in his 7 innings of work, but has struck out 12 batters to just 5 walks. But probably came in tired. He had thrown about 25 pitches before he got to start. That one is a called strike 1.
Certainly loose.
3 balls, 1 strike now to Hayes. With Arroyos at second in a 5-5 ball game. As their home plate umpire called time, and Hayes stepped back and now steps back in. Still a 3-1 count. Pitch on its way, looked at all the way. And it's a drawn ball 4 from Kyle Hayes, the 6th walk tonight for the WKU Bats.
Just another example of that plate discipline. And usually, you don't know how this one's going to turn out. Louisville hits the ball so well, you just don't know. But usually it works out well for you when you have plate discipline like they've shown tonight.
I mentioned that 5 number for Louisville. WKU 10-4 when they score at least 5 this year. Did so 41 times. Last year went 37-4. But it's going to take somebody more than 5 here tonight. First pitch of this at bat, right on the outside corner for Michael for strike 1 to Camden Ross. 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a run scored.
Again, the way Louisville defense sets up, there's plenty of room on that left side in that shortstop third base hole. Ross is a good hitter. I tell you, you leave a spot like that open for him, he'll find it a lot of times.
Down 0-2 in the count now against Peter Michael. 6'3" senior fires this one in outside, bounces away, but no movement from the base runners. And so much of how they're set up defensively, Jim, is because of the threat of what WKU does with the bats, where you've got to guard those corners. The sacrifices can show up at any point.
Yep, and they bunch their outfield. They leave the lines open in their outfield, which is interesting.
Here comes the 1-2. That one's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we've also seen at least once tonight that defensive formation work out where one is grounded over to third and Byram Potts just able to step on the bag for the out.
Yep.
Here comes the 2-2. This one is lined left side, somehow plucked out of midair. That's going to save a run. What a play by Alisea.
He's something else now. Let me tell you. He's out there for a reason.
It's still a hit for Camden Ross, but what a defensive play to keep this game tied up at 5.
Yep.
My goodness. And it brings Hayden Nazarenas up in a massive spot, bases loaded, nobody out, in a 5-5 ball game.
Yeah, you got to. If you're the Hilltoppers, you got to deliver the goods. This is your chance to, grab hold of the momentum right here.
Fouled off straight back. In a 4-run first inning, WKU had walked the bases loaded and stranded it to end it.
Yep.
As Nazarenas 1 for 3 on the day, singled in that first inning and was picked off at third. Took a big swing at that one and now finds himself down 0-2. Crowder College transfer, originally from Missouri. 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Peter Michael for the first out of this 6th inning.
You got to give him a lot of credit there. He reared back and just challenged him, and Nazarenas just couldn't catch up with the last 2 pitches. They were up.
Number 4, J.P. Acosta.
That is about as baseball gets. An 0-2 count up high, fastball, you get the chase. And now J.P. Acosta, the one to stand in, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and RBI in the first. Bases still loaded now with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. This one is lifted into left field, and it's dropped.
Oh, my goodness.
And then bobbled before the throw, and the Hilltoppers are going to take the lead as Arroyo slides in across home plate. Might have been a shot for a play, but then it was bobbled out and left by Crane, and the Hilltoppers take the lead back.
Yeah, that's a really good piece of hitting right there, and it's just one of those things. I mean, he just trapped it and allows the Hilltoppers to take the lead without an out being registered, and you still got the bases loaded and only 1 out.
And even off the initial drop, it looked like to me, Jim, there was going to be a shot to get that in time.
Yes, could have been.
But then bobbled it before the throw could happen. And Arroyos, with heads-up base running, able to come home and score. And the Hilltoppers still have the bases loaded, as you mentioned, with just 1 away, with Austin Holler standing in.
Yeah, now this is a tough nut to crack right here for Louisville. Holler is as tough as they come in situations like this. He's going to likely put the bat on the ball somewhere, and you're going to have to make a play at that point.
Second error tonight for Louisville. Both have directly resulted in runs. For a Cardinals team that has made so many excellent defensive plays in this game, and it just made one to prevent a run.
Yes.
1-1 count now to Holler. Pitch fouled off down the left side. He's got 2 strikes. Michael got the first out of the inning via strikeout. He's been a strikeout machine when he's been out there. Nearly 2 per inning on the season.
Holler usually shortens up right here and
fouls it straight back. He drew that walk in the first inning, battling back to force a full count from a 2-strike hole. See what he does here, standing back in with 1-2.
Holler had a good swing on that last pitch.
On a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Michael. Here comes the 1-2, breaking ball outside, and we're even up at 2 apiece. I knew he went off speed with it, Jim. I didn't know he dropped down to what the scoreboard says with 34 miles an hour. That's incredible change of pace.
That's my changeup at this point. Maybe.
2-2. Fired in and a called strike 3.
That's a good pitch, I guess. I had a tough angle for me on that one, but Holler usually doesn't.
We'll take another look at it from Michael. Might have clipped the outside. Again, a really good job of reeling it in by Nugent to make it look like it regardless. That's one of those, though, that it's close enough to the plate.
Yep.
You probably need to take a swing at it.
Yeah, you got to protect the plate, absolutely.
And now it brings up Manny Alberto. Louisville with some more damage control. Again, another inning. You get out where the score is where it is now, you're delighted. First pitch of this at bat to Alberto right across the plate for strike 1 at 92 miles an hour.
That called strikeout also gives the pitcher a lot of confidence. You could tell he was just had a little more zip, a little more spring in his step throwing that last pitch.
One fired and misses outside. Heard a WKU fan down in the stands exclaim, "A holy smokes," after that first strike came in. Boy, Michael can sling it.
Yeah, he can.
Got a 1-1 count here against Alberto. The hero against FIU. That still is lone RBI of the season.
The stress goes back to the pitcher here. You know, don't forget the bases are still loaded, and he's going to have to throw a strike right here or it really gets interesting.
2-1 count to Alberto. A 6-5 game. Gets a swing and a miss as he took some off that one.
That was a really good pitch right there.
The count is even up at 2 apiece. Alberto drew a walk in the first, grounded out in the third, lined out in the fifth. Has the bases loaded here with a 2-2 count and 2 away. Hilltoppers leading 6-5. Can they add to it? Just tipped.
Stayed alive.
As you've mentioned a couple of times, that gap still there between short and third. Just a lot of reliance on the speed of Alisea to be able to cover anything over there.
And again, the outfield corners, I mean, you could run forever if you hit one down the line, either line right here.
Challenge just to put bat to ball as Michael delivers the 2-2. Looked at for a called strike 3, third K of the inning.
Big pitch.
For Peter Michael. He strands the bases loaded with his third strikeout of the frame. But WKU takes the lead back. 6-5 is the score. Hilltoppers with the edge as we take this thing into the 7th inning from Nick Dennis Field. Still anybody's ball game. Puts up a run in the bottom of the 6th on an error out in left field. Lana Royos is the one to come home and score with the bases loaded, but that's all the Hilltoppers can get thanks to 3 strikeouts from the arm of Peter Michael. It's 6-5, WKU leading it here at Nick Dennis Field. No pitching change to start the 7th inning. We'll see if we make it to the stretch with that still being the case, as Kane Samuel still out there, just 7 pitches thrown to get through his 6th inning of work. But he'll go up against the top of this Louisville order, 1, 2, 3, to get things started. And leading off, Lucas Moore, who singled and then scored all the way from first on a double.
It's just so important to keep Moore off the bases if you can, because he represents the potential tying run, and any walk or single is a double most of the time when you're dealing with Lucas Moore. Sometimes it turns into a triple. I mean, it's just, you've just got to keep this guy off the bases if you're WKU.
Louisville put up 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning, and it just took the 3 batters that we're going to see up to start this inning, with Moore, who singled and then scored on the double from Slanker, who then came across on the 2-run home run from Tag Davis. It's an 0-2 count now for Moore, who was grounded out twice along with that single. Here comes the 0-2 bounce short of the plate. Samuels giving up a hit with 1 strikeout in his inning of work. Now fires in the 1-2, and it's fouled off into that new Hilltopper Fieldhouse to our left. Debut to the public.
Yep.
This week, what a beautiful facility WKU now has. Multiple sports.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable facility. It's one of the best in the United States.
Here comes the 1-2, swung on. Was it? Oh.
Yep.
It barely was. Barely.
Just got a
the bat
piece.
stays alive for more. We'll see if Samuels can get it back or Moore is able to take advantage of the second chance. Here comes the 1-2, swung on and missed.
That's a big pitch.
And there's the strikeout for Kane Samuels, his second of the night, and a massive one.
Yeah, that was as big a pitch as the Hilltoppers have thrown the entire game, because that guy represents the go-ahead run if he gets on base, and he's all kinds of trouble out there if he does.
Such a big spot, your leadoff batter in this order, as dangerous as it gets. Holding a 1-run lead as now Slanker stands in. He's reached twice today, walked in the first, doubled home Moore in the 5th inning, and then scored off the home run from Davis, who stands on deck.
Yep.
Here comes the 0-1, and I mean, as dangerous as Davis is, you cannot overlook Slanker either. I mean,
no.
A .341 hitter on the season who's got 6 home runs to his name.
And that's why it's so important. If you're facing this Louisville lineup, you better get those first 2 guys out, because you've got to limit the damage that Davis can do. You know, I mean, he can hit a solo homer, but if those 2 guys are on, that turns into a 3-run homer. So you've really got to keep these first 2 guys off the bases for Louisville if any opponent facing this team, because Davis is just so lethal.
It's a 1-2 count now to Ben Slanker. That one up high, tried to get him to chase the same pitch that Moore did to end the last at bat, to no avail. So we'll try it with 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch, fouled straight back. If nothing else, Slanker going to battle. Junior from Canfield, Ohio, was an All-MAC first teamer at Ohio last year. And he's got a 2-2 count with the bases empty, 1 away here. The pitch, low and inside, and the count runs full. We're going to sound like broken records in terms of big pitches late in this ball game. Each one to potentially close out an at-bat becomes bigger than the last one. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning against the top of this Louisville order for Kane Samuels.
Yeah, Samuels deserves a lot of credit. He's actually pitched really well since he came in. And you get the first 2 Louisville batters out with strikeouts, and you've got something going for you.
And again, goes up high to get that chase. And with the bases empty, 2 away, Tag Davis stands in for the Cardinals, coming off of home run number 14 on the season. Now has 52 RBI, and he's scored 33 runs. So you're looking at a guy by himself that has produced 85 runs.
Yeah, he's just a complete player. I mean, he's high average, high productivity as far as RBIs, runs scored, and doubles, home runs.
That's over 3 runs per game for one player.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to keep the guys in front of him off the base.
Big swing and a miss. He wanted home run number 15. And instead now has a 2-1 count.
He's very impressive. I've just been very impressed with his approach at the plate.
2-1 pitch, grounded right side, up with it at second at Holler, throw to first is there.
Good inning for the Hilltoppers.
What a 1-2-3 from Kane Samuels against the top of the order for one of the best lineups in all of college baseball. And as we head into the 7th inning stretch, 6-5, WKU leads, trying to stretch out that lead in the home half. 6-5, WKU leading Louisville as they look to close things out. Going into the bottom of the 7th, they'll go back on the road to Sam Houston for their 3rd Conference USA Series of the season before coming back home for a stretch against Tennessee Tech, and that's the USA Series against Liberty. Belmont in for a midweek, and then New Mexico State in town as well. Hilltoppers 3-3 in Conference USA play so far this season. 3-0 here at home, 0-3 on the road, coming off a sweep at the hands of Jacksonville State. Louisville 3-3 in ACC play so far. Won their first series at home against Notre Dame. Dropped one on the road against now number 13 North Carolina. This Cardinals team coming off their 6th appearance in the World Series under head coach Dan McDonnell. 809 career wins coming into tonight, and has been so good against in-state teams. 105-25, 81% winning percentage.
That really tells you a lot about Coach McDonnell, in my opinion. I think that the fact that he is, that's dominating the state right there. That's that 801 winning percentage against state teams.
And it's a state with good baseball teams.
Absolutely it is. And he's really done the job.
Parker Coley pinch hitting in the spot of Ethan Reynolds, who finishes with a fantastic night for the Hilltoppers. Reaches 3 times, couple of walks, singled as well, as Coley stands in this WKU lineup. 41 at-bats so far this year, 10 hits in those 41 times with 3 doubles. And is up 2-0 in this count against Peter Michaels, still out there. For Louisville, what a long night he's had. 2 warm-up sessions.
Absolutely.
Through the entire last inning. It's been a rarity for one pitcher to get through 1 inning as this game has gone on. And there's more action in the Louisville pen, so we'll see what the leash looks like for Michael. He's the 5th pitcher out there for Louisville. WKU has used 6 as a big swing and a miss from Coley. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Coley won't get cheated. He takes a rip at it.
Michael with 3 strikeouts last inning and appeal down to first base. That was a bold one from Nugent. Won't get that call, and the count runs full to Coley. Struck out 8 times this year, 3 walks.
You might get that one in the 5-0-2. You're not going to get it in the 2-7-0.
Here comes the payoff. This one is flown into right field. It's got some juice to it, and it's off the bottom of the wall. Rounding second, Coley held up for a moment. Now he puts pedal to metal, and he slides into third with a triple.
How about that off the bench?
It looked like it was going to be played out and right by Slinker, and it just floated and floated.
Yeah.
There's a slight breeze that is pushing directly out to right center field, and it pushed that one out just enough to get it to the base of that wall.
Yeah, I believe it fooled him a little bit, actually.
It fooled both of us. It looked like it was going to be played.
Yeah.
Crowd was the same way. They were all just kind of holding their breath with it.
Hey, Robin.
It's tough to see the ball, but it just carries and carries. And again, Slinker settled in.
Yeah, that
like
ball,
he had it, but he had lost it.
That's just really
and look at the helmet hanging off the top of the head as it slips back on to Coley, pinch hitting with a triple.
Yeah, that's kind of premier oppo field power right there. I mean, I didn't think it was going to reach the fence, reach the track, and turns into a triple.
Robbins check swing for strike 2 and his 5th at bat of this one. Singled for his lone hit in the first inning. Has popped out, struck out, and grounded into a fielder's choice.
Yep. Topper's just looking for something over that infield. Boy, they're really drawn in.
They are. This one is chopped left side. It's not going to do enough for Coley to advance from third. That is exactly how you draw it up.
Yep.
As Hot handles it cleanly, and they get the first out of the inning without that runner from third scoring.
Yep.
if you could pick a spot in that situation for a ball to be hit to, that's where it would be.
That's exactly right. And you know, they've just got such confidence in their glove work out there that those types of situations don't hinder Louisville at all. They make the play just very naturally
and just as naturally.
Just as naturally.
It's time for us to make another call to the bullpen. The Cardinals will bring in their 6th pitcher of this ball game. In a 6-5 game, WKU has a runner standing at third, looking to add to a 1-run lead after this. Naturally, in a game where we've had 6 pitchers come in for both sides, it's Louisville that really gives us our first curveball out of the pen with Ethan Eberle, the 6'5 sophomore lefty, who his previous 6 appearances have all been starts this season, including a start in that series against North Carolina. He gave up 7 hits, 4 unearned runs in that ball game, and now comes out in relief duties in the bottom of the 7th with 1 away and a runner standing at third for WKU in a 6-5 ball game with the Hilltoppers in front. Again, you can say whatever you want. It's a midweek game, non-conference. Louisville coming off a tough series loss at the hands of North Carolina. They're just focused on ACC play. Malarkey. Yep. They want this game bad.
They do. They do. It's a rivalry. Look, come on. I mean, this is this is a series that started in 1924, and I mean,
depending on who you ask, it's either meeting number 147
that's
or
right.
150.
That's right. Yeah, there's a little disagreement there. I think there's a little disagreement between Western Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky in football, too, as I recall.
I think the one point of agreement is nobody wants to walk away from this game with a loss.
No, and they're doing everything they can to find a way to win. And that's what you love. These fans are eating it up.
Lane Arroyos will be the one to stand in. They go to the lefty to face off the dangerous left-handed bat of Lane Arroyos, top 10 in Conference USA in average, OPS, RBI, and doubles. He's got an RBI to his credit tonight, 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 runs scored. He's got a runner at third, and he's hit by the first pitch.
Yep.
And that is something that that comes into play when you've got a pitcher. All of their appearances have been starts.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to come in out of the bullpen.
It's like we see sometimes with relievers, not in a save opportunity.
Yes.
What do you see? They struggle, and maybe that's the situation here with this Louisville pitcher. I mean, he certainly didn't look comfortable on that first pitch.
Now we'll face Kyle Hayes, who was one of the premier hitters in this WKU lineup last year. And before he faces him, we'll see if he will actually face him, because we're going to get another meeting on the mound.
Well, this is danger zone time for Louisville, if you're a Louisville fan, because you're in the heart of Western's lineup, and the game could be.
Jim, I'm trying really hard to listen to you, but I see that door in the bullpen cracked open.
Yeah, bring it on. Baker's does.
And they will absolutely do it. We're going to get our 13th pitcher in this ball game.
Baker's dozen.
Louisville will once again go to the pen. Well, we got 1 pitch. Out of that one, Jake Bean comes in after the beaned batter, and we'll see what he has in store after this. Stunned to see Ethan Eberle come out of the pen. We got 1 pitch out of Eberle for Louisville. He hits Lane Arroyos with his 1 pitch, and following suit, here comes Jake Bean out of the pen for the Cardinals, making his 7th appearance of the season, the 13th total pitcher we have seen in this ball game, and another one, Jim, in a much different situation than normal. He started 5 games. This just the 2nd time this year he's come out of the bullpen. Did do so in that North Carolina series. In fact, it was the Sunday game against the Tar Heels, and only threw in that outing 6 pitches, gave up a hit, got 1 out, and that was it. So that leads me to believe that everybody sit on the edge of your seat.
Yep.
We're going to get at least 14 pitchers in this game.
I would say that's Take that to Vegas.
And the big thing here, just to really set the stage, we're having fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
But there are runners on the corners. WKU leading 6-5 as we get this thing reset. One away with Kyle Hayes standing in. And it's another one, we can sit here and joke it, and we have fun about it. It makes sense to make a change in this spot because of how good Kyle Hayes is. We were starting to talk about this before the pitching change. Hayes was fantastic for WKU last year, around 350 average hitter, down to 288 this year, but he's been second on this team in RBI, and he's already got one with a double tonight in the first inning. First pitch of this at bat, a half swing on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for strike one. We've seen some heaters tonight. We have not seen that from Jake Bean.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a wake-up call there.
It's been a couple of years at Kent State that I'm sure Coach McDonald caught that radar. That one once again hits 95, but low for ball one. This Hilltopper lineup has tended to be better against fastball pitchers.
Be interesting here. We got one out.
Here comes the
That's
1-1.
exactly
I think that you were about to lay that out.
That was exactly what I was going to say. It would not shock me. Now, if you're, throwing 95 and you really tied him up on that first strike. But now we got 2 strikes, so I'd say the bunt is off.
Has struck out 20 batters in 22 innings of work, has walked 12, but has a 1-2 count here against Hayes.
Kyle usually has a really good plate discipline. We'll see what happens right here.
Here comes the 1-2. That one inside. Tried to go to his off speed and even his breaking ball, a little slider at 88 mile an hour. Here comes the 2-2. Runner on the move from first. They throw down to third. We're trying to get the double steal, so they'll give up the free steal to Arroyos at second, and well disciplined behind the plate from Nugent not to bite on it and throw down to third, but sliding back safely is Coley, and the Hilltoppers now have 2 in scoring position. They're 5 for 16 with runners in scoring position in this ball game.
It's a big spot right here.
And the count now full as well to Hayes. Payoff. This one is crushed into left field. It's over the head of the left fielder and down. One will score, make it 2 off the double from Kyle Hayes. The Hilltoppers take control. It's 8-5 here in the 7th.
Yeah, that's clutch hitting right there by Hayes. Great plate discipline. He didn't give up on the at-bat after falling behind and just crushed that ball.
I mean, was hit on an absolute rope. I don't know if it ever got more than 20 feet off the turf.
Now batting the catcher number 8, Camden Ross.
And leaves you with 1 in scoring position with 1 away for Camden Ross, who's already got a couple of hits in this one, singles in the 4th and 6th innings.
Yep.
And scored after reaching on an error in the first. First pitch fired in outside for ball 1. And you can make it the 8th multi-RBI game of the season for Kyle Hayes. Only twice has he had a game with just 1 RBI.
Yeah, he's just a pure hitter. That's all he is.
1-0, slap left side, and it's through. Hayes hesitated at second. Now he's going to make his way to third. And the Hilltoppers once again have put runners on the corners with the single from Ross into that gap between short and third that you've referenced a couple times.
Yep, and Ross is just showing what the value of a veteran player. You know, he's got 3 hits. He's gotten a hit in each of his last 3 at-bats. You know, he's a veteran guy here, came in with Coach Raridan. He wants this win over Louisville. I mean, this would be big for this program right now, and this team's putting up a lot of fight.
Hayden Nazarenas tries to bunt one and diving to get it in foul territory behind the plate as Nugent. Boy, he has made some fantastic plays tonight.
He's excellent. I mean, Nugent is just an excellent defensive catcher. Did you see how cat quick. I mean, he was cat quick. He's a bigger guy, but boy, he's got a great first step, and he got to that, and that's a big out for Louisville.
So now 2 away with runners on the corners for J.P. Acosta. He's reached 3 times tonight, twice on singles, and reached on an error in the 6th that brought home at that point the leading run for WKU to make it 6-5. And now they've tacked on 2 more with a double from Hayes here in the 7th. Looks at the first pitch of this at bat for ball 1. Acosta transfer from Fresno City College, originally from Clovis, California. Now up to 270 at the plate this season. And for a moment there, the Hilltoppers were going to try to send the runner to second, but the throw goes into the outfield on the miscommunication, and Hayes will come in for free.
Yeah, that's a big play right there.
Ross had acted like he was going to go to second. He didn't, and then the ball, you see the motion on the throw starts from the catcher, Nugent, who was then just kind of stuck in between his options and sent it into left field.
Yeah, that's stealing a run right there. That's what that is. After a really good play by the catcher to get the second out, that's a big run to give up.
3 runs directly off of 3 Louisville errors, and this one is down the left field line into the gap. WKU is going to extend this lead out to 10-5 on the RBI off the bat of J.P. Acosta,
who's had a huge night. I mean, this kid has had a huge night for the Hilltoppers. 4 times on base, been a tough out all night long, and this game has turned into the momentum has swung completely in Western Kentucky's favor.
You've talked about it all night long. If you put one anywhere near the line, no shot to catch up to it.
That's the price you pay. You know, when you bunch the outfield, that's the price you pay sometimes.
And how about this now? Louisville in this game, 5 hits as a team. WKU, not just 15, they've got 8 with runners in scoring position.
Well, let's remember that at Jacksonville State they had 15 for the series, 5, 5, and 5. So, you know, that's baseball. Who can predict? It's college baseball, and that's what makes it so exciting, so fun.
Austin Haller looks at that one for ball 1. He's reached twice in this ball game with a walk in the 1st and a single in the 5th. As Acosta stands at second after the RBI double. Boy, how this game has shifted with 4 runs put on the board here in the bottom of the 7th. Called strike 2 from Jake Bean. Makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes to Haller. Dipped down to 82 on that one. We'll see if he brings the fire for the 2-strike pitch. Fires it in. Trying to frame it on the inside was Nugent. Doesn't get the call. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It was pure heat right there.
93 miles an hour that time from Bean. We'll try it again now with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch to Haller. And that's going to ring him up for a called strike 3. But not before the Hilltoppers tack on 4. They get it started with the 2 RBI hit off the bat of Hayes, who's up to 3 ribbies for the ball game, and they pile it on to make it 10-5 as we head to the 8th here in Bowling Green. 10-5 is the WKU lead here at Nick Dennis Field over the Louisville Cardinals, getting set to host Pitt as they get back into ACC play. With another conference series this coming weekend, then on the road at Duke, and then what'll be a very fun midweek matchup in Lexington against Kentucky. And then there you see it. This is the first of 2 matchups between these 2 teams this season. The Cardinals will welcome WKU for round 2 on April 14th. The Hilltoppers coming off a 4-run inning, and what other way to keep the fun going than to bring in a brand new pitcher. Connor Wolf coming in, our 14th pitcher of this ball game. We have seen 7 for each side. Wolf making his 7th appearance of the season, 5.00 ERA even so far on the year with 8 Ks and 5 walks, and comes in after a job well done in 2 innings from Kane Samuels, who strikes out 3, gives up just 1 hit in his 2 innings of work, and most importantly, in that 7th inning, sat down 1, 2, and 3 in this order for Louisville as the first pitch of this at-bat is grounded left side, and what a throw made. Or are they going to hold it up? I think they're going to say that it was ruled foul. They are going to say at the last moment that it was foul off the grounder from Hott. And that was immediately the call, so it'll stand that way, and Hott will get another chance at it.
That was great play nonetheless.
Byram Hott is 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts, was hit by a pitch and would score in the 4th inning. As he'll check over with his dugout and then stand back in. Queens, New York. Played with the Cardinals last year after a couple of years at Marist. Started 27 games last season, finished with a .326 average. Now hitting .398 this year.
He's been very productive.
Hits this one into center field, tracking under it, just short of the warning track and making the play is Hayden Robbins. That one, if it's a 75-degree day in Bowling Green, might have a bit more juice to it, but it's cooled down here at Nick Dennis Field. And we had the slight wind earlier, and that's died down completely.
Number 6, Griffin Crane.
I tell you, Tyler, it's been a very comfortable evening to both play the game and witness the game. It's been nice out here.
Griffin Crane in now, fouls off the first one down the right side. He's 0 for 1 officially, but had an RBI on a sac fly in the 4th. And Louisville put up their first 2 runs of the ball game, all 5 coming between the 4th and the 5th innings of this one. Drew a walk his last time up in that 5th inning. Here comes the pitch from Wolf. Squares to bunt. And the count's even up at 1 apiece. Jimmy Nugent, the catcher, would be due up next, but looked like they're going to pinch hit in this spot as the pitch goes behind.
Just a little inside.
Crane. I don't think there's going to be an appeal for a strike call on that one.
No.
As that one comes in and catches the inside corner on a nice frame job from Camden Ross to even up the count at 2 apiece. Looks like it's George Baker, the backup catcher for the Cardinals. Cardinals due up next in the spot of Nugent. With a 2-2 count here with 1 away. Bases empty, grounded right side. Nice sliding grab, and stepping on the bag is Arroyos.
He does it all. He's fantastic. Boy, he's real nifty over there for his body build. I just love watching him play. He's got a quick first step, great anticipation, and he'll save a lot of runs for Hilltopper pitchers this year.
He's had a couple of web gems over there at first tonight.
Hitting for Louisville, number 14, George Baker.
As Baker will be the one to stand in for the Cardinals. Junior from Waldorf, Maryland. With 2 away and the bases empty, comes out swinging at the first pitch. It's a 60-degree lob wedge into center field, and backing off of it is the center fielder Robbins, and Coley comes in under it to grab it. WKU again handles business. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th. The Hilltoppers take a 10-5 lead in the bottom half with 1 more chance to pad this lead going into the 9th. WKU leading Louisville going into the bottom of the 8th inning, and you had to know we could not go another half inning without another pitcher. 15 runs on the board. Meet pitcher number 15 in this game. Freshman Zane Stahl standing in for the Cardinals of Louisville from Spring Lake, Michigan, making his 7th appearance of the season. Has struck out 6 batters in 5 1/3 innings of work so far. And he'll go up against 8, 9, and then back to the top of the order for WKU. Looks like it'll still be Alberto and Coley that get things started for the Hilltoppers coming off that 4-run 7th inning that totally shifted the weight of this game. This was a 5-5 ball game through 6, and all the momentum was in favor of Louisville at that point.
Absolutely.
And the Hilltoppers have just taken it back by force.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, that's the mark of a resilient baseball team right there, because if you recall, and it seems like it's been a day and a half ago when this happened, but when the Hilltoppers scored those 4 runs in the first inning, they could have gotten many more. I mean, they had the chance. And some pickoffs and thrown out base runners cost the Hilltoppers there. And you wondered, is that a squandered opportunity that we can't overcome? But you have to give this WKU team credit, because at this point, at least, they have overcome that.
So Manny Alberto will stand in 0 for 3 tonight. Drew a walk in the first inning. Has grounded out, lined out, and struck out. Has been excellent at short, and defense has been a huge swing factor in this game. 3 errors on the board for Louisville, all of them directly resulting in Hilltopper runs. And in fact, if you break it down in that earned runs department, for the Cardinals, there were a couple that counted as unearned in that first inning as a result of that error. This would be a tie ball game, more than likely without those errors.
Yeah, those were big for sure. And that kept alive that last inning too. You know, an error played a big role in the last inning staying alive as well.
That pitch misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alberto. So stunning for a Cardinals team that has been sterling in the field, and that's been their reputation all along under Coach McDonald. Here comes the 2-2 inside, nearly clips Alberto, but doesn't, and the count runs full. Fired in at 91 miles an hour from the 6-7 stall. Everyone 20 and under rejoicing at those numbers, everyone else a slight groan. As the payoff is delivered, and it's fouled off down the left side. Another dent in the roof of that Hilltopper football facility. So we'll try the payoff again. Grounded softly to the right side. Elam charges in and makes the play to first. So Alberto retired for the 4th time in this one. And that'll bring Parker Coley up to bat. Boy, he came in and juiced things as a pinch hitter in that 7th inning, getting the party started with a triple and then coming home to score shortly after.
One thing of note, Tyler, Western's number 9 position in the batting order, they've been on base 4 straight times. That tells you a lot, because if you get your number with WKU's lineup, the way it's set up, you get that number 9 hitter on every time, and that is trouble for the opposition for sure.
Bowling Green native, South Warren alum Ethan Reynolds did a great job in the start there. Couple of walks and a single, and then Coley comes in with the triple, but now faces an 0-2 count with the bases empty, 1 away. Cardinals will go 7-8-9 to start the top of the 9th, but would love to get there with this margin still holding at 5. As good as this team is offensively, there's not really a number that's comfortable in terms of a lead against them.
No, absolutely not. I mean, like I said, you've got to get these guys out one at a time. You can't be thinking about, well, if this guy gets on, blah, blah, blah. You better get the guy at the plate out. Because when they start stacking runners on base, that's when they're very dangerous.
That one rope foul down the left side. This is a Louisville offense that scored as many as 23 runs as they had against Xavier earlier this year. WKU, this is the 5th time this year they've scored double-digit runs. They've won the previous 4 games. Their season-high 15 in the series opener in their first conference series against FIU. And it's a 1-2 count for Coley. That one bounces. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans have very notably found their swagger back since the lead is inflated once again, Jim.
Gotten a little lively out here, for sure.
Cardinals had silenced them for a bit, but back and rowdy and loud as that one is lined up the middle, and the 9 spot in this order has now reached base 5 out of 5 times.
Yep.
The last 2 from number 5, Parker Coley.
Yeah, that's really actually pretty incredible. I mean,
is.
you know, this is a major national program, and to get your number 9 hitter on 5 times, you just don't, you don't, in the pregame plan, you don't expect that to happen, okay? But it's happened today, and it's really helped the Hilltoppers get back to the top of the order, and that's where they've done some big damage.
One of those Bob Ross happy accidents.
Exactly.
As Hayden Robbins stands in at the top of the order. Coley takes off from first. That one tipped straight back.
Yeah, had a good jump, too. Had a good jump.
Robbins, the 6'4" junior outfielder from Richmond here in Kentucky. Started off his career at Eastern Kentucky, was an OVC all-freshman team member. Now, as Coach Reardon would say, has made his way to play for the good guys, is sliding in at first is Coley. The throw over to first is sliding in is Coley. I know the fans had certainly missed a runner alone being over there at first for some throws.
Yep, they've had fun with that tonight.
0-1 count with 1 away, and Coley dancing over there off the first base bag. Trying to square off to bunt. That's a perfect throw down to first. Nearly got him.
Yeah, it's a great piece of base running, too, because he went for the backside of the bag.
Yes.
That's the only way he could have gotten back in safely. That was a really good dive back.
That's the rare case in baseball. You hear good defense, better offense.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, and that's what happened there.
Does even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. That one low. Another throw down to first, and this time Coley stuck.
Yeah.
He's going to bounce back and forth. Cardinals have him caught in the rundown. Everybody rotating through it. This is like our pitching changes. Everybody's getting a touch. Ball was dropped, and now he's going to be tagged. Coley is fired up after the fact just to force it.
No.
They're going to say he's safe.
No,
What's the ruling
he dropped
here?
the ball.
So he didn't get tagged ever. I know it was dropped, and then the tag came in, but Coley is going to make his way to the bag regardless.
How about this?
Let's see the end of that, because I knew it was dropped. It was dropped to get. See, that's where I thought he made the tag. But they're going to call is interference the call here? We're going to have another meeting because after this, so he drops it, goes for the tag, and then I think what is ruled there is interference because I saw that second tag.
Yeah.
And they get an interference call, and after all of that, Coley ruled safe.
I tell you.
It was a game of hot potato and nobody won.
Yeah, and it looked like every relief pitcher that's been in this game was in that sequence right there, okay?
Everybody got a touch. So there, because it was then dropped, and there's no real tag attempt because he doesn't have the ball at the time. It's an interference call, and Coley is safe at second. Wow.
I've seen a little bit of everything in this one.
If there was something you hadn't seen in a baseball game coming into tonight, chances are you've been able to check it off your bingo card. That one is grounded up the middle, played nicely at second, throw to first, scoop just as well off the bounce by Davis. It advances Coley over to third, but now 2 away for the Hilltoppers.
But it's Arroyos.
4-1 Lane Arroyos.
First baseman number 26, Lane Arroyos.
Who has reached 4 times tonight, an RBI double in the first inning, singled in the 4th, was walked in the 6th, hit by a pitch in the 7th, and 3 of the 4 times he's reached, he's come across to score.
He's made 2 excellent defensive plays at first base as well.
As Coley over at third with 2 away, Hilltoppers trying to add any pad they can to this 10-5 lead going into the ninth. Arroyo's team leader in RBI came in to this one, top 5 in Conference USA in that regard. Stahl fires in the 1-0. And it misses to make the count 2 balls, no strikes.
Being very careful right here with reason. Got 2 bases open, and this guy could do more damage to you, so they're being very careful with Lane Arroyos.
And a spot where you can't afford to just give up a base because you got Kyle Hayes waiting. 2-0 runs it up to 3 balls, no strikes. And like you said, this is the threat of this lineup. You get somebody on in the bottom of this order, and you can go 2 and 3 back-to-back with Arroyos and Hayes.
That's exactly what I was talking about, because if you get the 9-man on, goodness, I mean, you've got a lot of trouble at the top of that order.
Called strike 1 on that one, fired in by Stahl. Touches 90 miles an hour. Comes the 3-1. That one grounded right back at the pitcher Stahl, who was able to stop it with his leg and then recovers and makes the throw to first as well. Tough play by Zane Stahl to bring the inning to a close, keep an extra run off the board, and keep the Louisville deficit at 5. WKU looks to close it out in the top of the ninth and make it 2 of their last 3 over the Cardinals after this. 10-5, WKU leading over the Louisville Cardinals here at Nick Dennis Field in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Hilltoppers in what is either meeting 150 according to Louisville or meeting 147 according to the WKU side. Looking to make it 2 of 3 against the Cardinals after winning the last matchup on this field in 2024, 3-2. Louisville winning at their place last year, 5-2. This is the first of 2 meetings between these 2 teams this year. Cardinals will go 7-8-9 to get the top of the ninth started. The Hilltoppers, for now, with Connor Wolf still out there.
Yep.
We were talking about this during the break, Jim. It sets up at least decently favorably, especially with a right-handed pinch hitter coming up to get things started for Louisville. So at least 2 of the 3 that he's going to see right-handed hitters, as Zach Davis is the one to stand in for Louisville. Just 8 at-bats this year, but 3 hits and 3 RBI when he's gotten the opportunities. And he looks at that first pitch for a call and strike 1. Quickly working is Wolf, and the count is evened up.
Hilltoppers, if they hold on to win this game, they can point to the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings as far as their pitching staff, because Louisville's had only 1 base runner in the last 3 innings, and it allowed WKU to reclaim the momentum, take the lead, and that's what's happened here at the end of this game.
And what an opportunity it is for Zach Davis to get to stand in. He's from here in Bowling Green, graduated from Greenwood High School. Freshman that played 5 years for the Gators, was a 2-time All-State selection. And he swings and misses on the 2-2, strikeout picked up for Connor Wolf. And the Hilltoppers are just 2 outs away.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to this pitching staff. You know, we've kind of had fun with all these relievers, but truth of the matter is WKU's end-of-game relievers have really gotten the job done. And, I mean, 2 outs away from what would be a huge victory over the Cardinals.
Well, you referenced it. Going into that 7th inning, Louisville at the top of their lineup as this one is hit straight into left field. It's a single on 1 pitch for Cade Elam, the freshman from Corbin High School in Kentucky. Gives the Cardinals a chance here, Jim, to get back to the top of that order.
Yes.
The Hilltoppers went 1-2-3 against 1-2-3. They sat down the next 3 in order as well. So over this stretch, that's the first time they've been able to get a hit.
Yeah, WKU did a really good job. Now they're about to get to the top of the order, but is it too little too late for Louisville? We'll see.
Don't know if it's ever too little too late for this
That's what
offense.
I'm saying. That's why I said it like that, because they can strike for a bunch on you. And we'll just see. This is actually a big at-bat right here. You don't want to get the parade started on base. You just want to throw strikes, and if they hit their way on, they earn it. But you don't want to give them anything here.
Alisea has reached once. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning, grounded out in the 5th, struck out in the 6th.
He's also a very impressive shortstop.
He's made several great plays.
He has got great range, and he's got a great arm, and I'm sure Coach McDonald's glad to look up, see him out there in shortstop position each day.
Junior from Milwaukee in his 3rd year here at Louisville, and has been a regular in this lineup the last 2 years as he floats this one into left field. Play is made by Tarnoki, who's now out there for the Hilltoppers. Yeah. And the Cardinals are down to their final out, but back to the top of the order to try to make something happen here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, that's why it was so important for WKU to put them down in order in both the 7th and 8th, because then, yes, they have gotten to the top of the order, but there's 2 outs. That's the issue there. So WKU really has done a really good job out of this pen and late in the game.
Lucas Moore swings at the first pitch, grounds it right side. Arroyos with another great diving play, pitches to first, and this game is over. 3rd time tonight, a sterling play has been made at first by Arroyos, and the Hilltoppers win the battle for the Red Grass State.
Absolutely. In the battle of the red grass, the Hilltoppers pulled this one out. They really showed a lot of character today, coming off a series where they really got handled pretty easily by Jacksonville State. Okay, they're looking to show that that's not who we are, and they showed they were a different ball club tonight for sure against one of the most tradition-laden teams in America over the last 20 years.
It was a 5-5 ball game. Through 5, the Hilltoppers add 1 in the 6th and then 4 in the 7th, led by a 2 RBI double from Kyle Hayes, our player of the game, who finishes with 3 ribbies, 2 doubles. Overall, he is really starting to round into that form that WKU saw from him last year.
Yeah, you can see it coming. You mentioned at one point his average is at 288. It wouldn't surprise me if it's at 388 by the end of the year. He's that kind of player. He can get hot on you in an instant and carry a team. He's the type of guy who can carry you for 2 weeks.
Kane Samuels officially gets the win out of the bullpen for WKU. He and Connor Wolf, this is the biggest thing by far, go the final 4 innings without giving up a single run against this Louisville lineup.
I mean, it's unbelievable. You look up and down Louisville's lineup with their batting averages, and to put together a late game performance like that over the final 4 innings is absolutely exceptional. You couldn't do it better. Hilltopper pitchers should have gained a lot of confidence tonight.
Tate Davis records home run number 14 on the season, but not enough as the Cardinals take the loss and fall to 16-9 overall on the season. WKU moving to 14-11 with their 5th straight win here at Nick Dennis Field. The Hilltoppers will go on the road Friday to start another Conference USA series on the road at Sam Houston on ESPN+, and the Cardinals will host Pitt this weekend for their next ACC series on the ACC Network Extra. For my partner Jim Pickens and our entire ESPN Plus team here in Bowling Green, I'm Tyler Eaton. Thank you for joining us for an incredible night of baseball right here on ESPN Plus.